couldn't even find this out. Columbus City. He was on the Lyndon McKinley team that won the state title in basketball.
Ewing is with his parents, Mandy and Greg Ewing. He is in the Rosary House and a graduate of St. Pius X. Nora Johnson is with his parents, Angel and Brian Johnson. She is in Victory House and a graduate from Columbus Gifted Academy. Addie Lawler is with her parents, Jamie and Jeff Lawler. She is in Aquinas House, graduate from St. Catherine. Mary Kate LeMay is with her parents, Amy and Donald LeMay. She is in the Springs House and a graduate from St. Pius X. Carson Moore is with his parents, Sharon Martin Moore and Carlton Moore. He is in the Springs House and is a graduate from St. Catherine. Kara O'Malley is with her parents, Carrie and David O'Malley. She is in Aquinas and graduated from St. Catherine. Caleb O'Neill is with his mom, Rachel O'Neill. He is in Rosary House and is a graduate from Pickerington Ridgeview. Paige Park is with her mom, Michelle Teasley Parks, and her uncle, Marcus Jackson. She is in Worley House and a graduate from St. Catherine. Kamaya Pope is walking with her parents, Sheena Benson and Chad Pope. She is in the Springs House and a graduate from Gahanna Christian Academy. Rowan Smith is with his parents, Teresa and Terrence Smith. He is in Aquinas House and was homeschooled prior to attending Bishop Hartley. DeWeet Tesfaye is walking with his parents, Hiru Kabeda and Tesfaye Walele. He is in the Springs House and a graduate at St. Pius X. Congratulations once again to all members of the homecoming court. We will announce our king and queen at the beginning of halftime. Ohio Health is the official sports medicine provider of the Bishop Hartley Hawks. We keep your athletes and active adults of all ages healthy and in the game. Your medical team for Bishop Hartley is head team physician Dr. Don LeMay. An athletic trainer for your Hawks is Mike Zabatowski. Ohio Health is proud to partner with the Hawks to provide a healthier community. Ohio Health, elite care for every athlete. The Board of Education and Athletic Department of Bishop Hartley High School extend to each of you a cordial welcome. We are pleased you are here with us tonight. Bishop Hartley and Watkins Memorial High Schools are members of the Ohio High School Athletic Association and abide by its standards of conduct, competition, and sportsmanship. We strive to maintain positive relations with all schools. Let's have the players play, coaches coach, officials officiate, and the spectators cheer in a positive manner. The athletes and coaches participating in this contest are friendly rivals as members of opposing teams. The officials assigned to this contest have been selected and assigned according to procedures adopted by the OHSAA. They are Michael Maxey, Wayne Lithicum, Andrew Elsiar, Paul Holler, and Phil King. Please rise and remove your hats for the pregame prayer. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. Heavenly Father, as we gather tonight for this contest, we pray for the safety of these athletes. We ask your blessings on the officials and everyone in the Watkins Memorial and the Bishop Hartley community. Thank you, Lord, for the opportunity to be part of this friendly competition. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Now please remain standing for the playing of the national anthem by the Bishop Hartley High School Marching Band under the direction of Mr. Eli Williams. All right, Hog Nation, on your feet, please welcome to Jack Ryan Field, your 2025 Bishop Hartley Hawks!
Welcome to Jack Ryan Field here at Bishop Hartley High School, where tonight the Hawks are ready to continue their 2025 season as they take on Watkins Memorial. I'm Bob McElligott, joined by Brian Inglis here tonight. And Brian, the Hawks coming off a hard-fought victory last week. They come into this game with a 2-1 record, taking on a team that is 1-2. But for Bishop Hartley, it's just about doing what they did last week, and that is winning the football game, although they'd like to get a little bit more offense out of it this week.
Absolutely, Bob. You don't talk often about a team that scores 0 points in regulation, yet comes around with a victory. So the Hawks will look to win 2 in a row And Watkins will look to end a one-game losing streak, having been defeated by Tays Valley last week.
So the Hawks are going to tee the ball up and kick it away to get things started here. They'll tee it up on the 40-yard line. You know, you talk about that loss to Tays Valley, but this team, if you look at their record of 1-2, don't read much into that. This is a very good football team. They've got a lot of talent. They're going to be a tough opponent for the Hawks tonight.
Certainly, absolutely quality of opponent must come in here. They've played Worthington, Kilbourne, Sheridan, and Tays Valley thus far this season.
So we're just about set and ready to go. This is a beautiful Friday evening. I'll tell you what, you don't get this far into September and have many great nights like this still on the calendar for you. But weather-wise, it is perfect here tonight as they're ready to kick this ball off and get things underway. So here we go. Little chip shot kick down to the 17-yard line. And Watkins carrying the ball right up to the middle of the field and across the 40-yard line. And on the return was Braden Hart, the senior. He's a running back, and he did a good job of running that football back on the kick. And they're going to start at the 42-yard line.
Yeah, that's almost an ideal start for the Warriors. Good field position on their first drive and a bunch of momentum.
So we're going to see this Warriors offense that can get things going. There's no question about that. And Jaden Ricketts is a guy that we're going to see, I'm sure, a lot here tonight. Plays wide receiver and defensive back. It's an Ohio State commit, and they will look to get the ball into his hands. He's not the only guy by any means. But Drew Samsel, the quarterback, the senior quarterback, he's going to be a big part of this game as well as he takes the ball and he hands it off immediately and very quickly, a tackle after a gain of just 2 yards. Good job by the Hartley defense to come swarming in on Graham Smith.
Yeah, Matthew Melee read the play almost immediately and tracked him down. Give him 1 on that game, Bob.
So second down play coming up. Talked about Samsel, the senior quarterback, 6 foot, 180 pounds. Working out of the shotgun. He can throw it. He can run it. They'll have some designed runs for him. This one is not one of those. He throws on the run, and it's in and out of the hands of Braden Hart, the intended receiver. Incomplete pass. That'll bring up a 3rd down and long.
Yeah, that was an accurate toss to the sideline, and it looked as though Hart just didn't look it in all the way. But 3rd and 8.
Could have been one of those, age-old looking to run with the ball before you actually have it secured in your hands. And, rightfully so. When you're standing out there, you're going toward the sideline by yourself. You tend to take a peek up the field and see how much room you have to work with.
Well, it's such a sunny evening tonight that maybe you can use that one as an excuse as well.
I don't know. I think he was in the shadows there along the sideline. So it's going to be a 3rd down and 8. Samsel dropping back and looking to throw. Not much pressure now. He's got to step up, roll to the near sideline. His throw is going to be incomplete. The intended receiver that time was Dylan Kennedy. The senior tight end couldn't connect with him, and it's going to be 4th down coming up here. So a nice start by the Hartley defense, 3 and out.
Yeah, good coverage by the Hawks secondary on that play. That was a really tight window Samsel was going to have to fit the ball in, and lo and behold, a punt for the Warriors.
So Hartley has Robert Lathan back deep, ready to take the kick. He's standing inside the 20 at his own 18-yard line. Lathan always a threat when he touches the ball. It's a high snap, and the ball is kicked and goes off a player and then rolls inside the 40-yard line. This is going to give the Hawks very good field position on their first drive. They're going to start at their own 34-yard line.
Bob, I don't know if I've ever seen that. It hit off the helmet of a lineman. I couldn't tell if it was an offensive or defensive one. We'll see on the replay here, but very low trajectory, but to benefit Watkins, it actually bounced up and got a little bit of roll.
Yeah, it did. You're right about that. It could have been a much worse situation for them. So let's see what the Hawks offense can do here. And they are being led by their senior quarterback. At Golich in the shotgun to get things started here tonight. Takes that ball, and he immediately hands it off. And Robert Lathan is going to get a short gain here. You can be sure that the Warriors defense is going to be keying on number 1 out of the backfield all night tonight.
Yeah, he's Hartley's all-time leading rusher and obviously the focal part of the game plan. Usually as Lathan's yardage totals go, so goes Hartley's offense.
Galich dropping back with an empty set. No running backs, 5 receivers. And he's looking downfield. He has time and he lets it fly down the middle of the field, but he overthrows the intended receiver as he was hoping to put that one to Javier Napier. Couldn't make that connection, and it's going to be a 3rd down.
Yeah, Watkins had safety coverage over the top with Stokes coming over, and that was going to have to be in perfect position, and Galich overthrew him, which, to be honest with you, from a Hartley perspective, that might have been the best outcome because they had that play covered.
Yeah, they did have it covered. So right now, Watkins trying to do to the Hawks what they just did to them, force them into a 3 and out. So 3rd down and 8 for Hartley. Lathan is back in the backfield, 3 receivers to the near side of the field. One goes in motion. Galich with time, and he throws far sideline, and that is caught for a 1st down at the 40-yard line as Ja'Kai Callaway makes a great catch on that far sideline.
Beautiful back shoulder throw to Callaway, who's an all-state basketball player as well. Used that to his advantage, leaping across the sideline. Well done by the Hawks, 1st down.
You know, that's funny when you look at that, and especially you look on the replay, you think, well, we've got this covered. And all of a sudden you don't. Nice leaping catch there. And the ball put in a spot where it was not going to be intercepted.
Yeah, that back shoulder has come into vogue in probably the last decade in football and used on all levels now, Bob.
So it's a 1st down and 10. Lathan takes the football, tries to find room in the middle, and he doesn't find much. They whistle the play dead as he got stopped right near the line of scrimmage. Maybe they give him one down up to the 40-yard line.
He's one of those backs where you're going to have 1 yard, 1 yard, 2 yards, 5 yards, 48 yards. You just never know when he's going to break one, so they'll keep going to the well.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. And, you know, many times those big runs come as the game goes along, and you beat up that defensive line a little bit. Now, this is a good, stout defensive line that they're running against here tonight. There's some big bodies in the middle of that line. Looks like Galich is having problems getting the play in from the sideline. In fact, he is, and a timeout will have to be taken by the Hawks with 9.5 to go here in the 1st quarter.
Yeah, that's one of those times where you'd rather take the timeout than the delay game penalty. 0-0 earlier in the game, Hawks on the march.
No, we're just talking about the running game. I don't know how this game is going to work out, but you just see that pass a moment ago. It could be one of those situations where you use the passing game to set up the running game. And, you know, for years, for Bishop Hartley, it was the exact opposite. They used that running game and then occasionally would mix the pass in there. But, you know, it's a much more balanced offense they're running here this year.
Yeah, and truth be told, in modern football nowadays, you see a lot of times the inverse of what you and I grew up watching, where you do pass to set up the run. I mean, obviously up there on North High Street, they like to use that quite a bit at the Horseshoe, but it just softens up the defense because everybody knows about number 1. But if they have to honor the flanks, then you're going to be a little softer in the middle.
We're talking about that defensive line. Right in the middle of it is the senior Hunter Derry. He is 6'2", 295 pounds. He's wearing number 76. He's right there in that nose tackle spot, and you know, that's a big guy just in and of himself to try to go through. Empty set again, quick pass over to the far side, and once again making the catch, this time for not as much yardage, is Callaway. He gets a couple here, though.
Well, but that's what you do, Bob, to avoid the rush that you eloquently stated there, because, I mean, you can't miss him on the field, that defensive tackle. And so the quick game out to the flanks negates that advantage. And give him 3 on that play, I bet.
Yeah, the old extended handoff type play, right?
Indeed.
Just flip it out there and see if you can catch and run a little bit. Right now, Hartley looking at a 3rd down for the 2nd time on this drive. They were able to convert the 1st time. Going to call it a 3rd down and a short 7 here. Is Galich in the backfield all alone with a shotgun snap. Looking near side, and he will throw to the underneath man who makes the catch at the 35-yard line and then can't break a tackle. That's Cody York. And he looked downfield, looked beyond the markers, nothing there, so he came back on the shorter pass.
Yeah, the offensive line afforded him a lot of time, and now with that gain of yardage, Hartley is in position for a reasonable 4th down play call.
Absolutely. It's 4th down and 4 right here. And you just talked about it, that previous pass, the extended handoff, if you will. That was good for 3. If you can find something like that, you can get beyond the markers, and you're far enough away from the goal line where you can send some guys downfield to take defenders with them.
And now on 4th down, you have a lot of options. You could run a draw even if you needed.
They will not do that. Galich rolling out to his right. He's got pressure from behind, gets away from him, trying to turn the corner, and it looks like he stays inbounds. Did he get to the marker? It appears he did. That is a great run by Matt Galich. And right there at the very end, he knew he needed that extra yard, and he got it.
And Callaway made the play. He was out in the flat on a route, which I thought Galich was going to give him the ball, but when he decided to run, Callaway came back towards the hash mark and delivered a block that was essential in helping Galich turn the corner.
And Callaway, 6 foot, 170 pounds, so not one of the biggest guys out there, but that was a big play.
Delivered a lick.
Yes, he did. First down and 10. Here's a handoff. Lathan over the right side. Looked like he was going to break through. Then he gets caught up and picks up 2, maybe 3 yards.
I think in the early going, though, I think Coach Melly would be satisfied with 4 or 5 yards on first down. And like you said earlier, wear him out by the 4th quarter would be his design.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I'm not great at math, but I know if you get 4 yards 3 times, you've moved the chains, right?
I was told there'd be no math.
Second down. They give him 3. Got sophomore wide receiver Cordy out here by himself on the near sideline. They throw to the far side and miss the intended receiver that time. And that was Napier.
Yeah, they just ran a little 3-step drop, maybe a 5-yard out, and he was open, just kind of airmailed it. The excitement early going in the game is you can tell when quarterbacks overthrow the ball that they're just a little hyped up and not quite yet into the flow of it. Although Galich on that run, obviously, that probably settled his nerves nicely.
So another 3rd down. Again, they've converted on 1. The other one, they got close enough that they could set up for a 4th down and convert that. So let's see if the Hawks can continue this offensive drive. Hand it off. Lathan, again, looking for running room and not finding a lot, just a couple of yards. It looks like he's going to be down to the 26-yard line.
Tough sledding in the middle there with Rocco Pascal, a 5'9", 205-pounder making the tackle. And again, Bob, we find ourselves in that sort of 4th and medium in which I imagine the Hawks will go for it here.
Yep, it does appear that way as Galich is back from the sideline already with the play. See if they can convert on 4th down for a 2nd straight time on this drive, their first offensive drive of the game. 6:27 to go here in the first quarter. 0-0 thus far. Galich under center, which he hasn't been a lot during this drive. He'll pitch it back. Lathan looking for running room, and he's going to find it as he turns the corner, and he gets inside the 10 and gets knocked out around the 5.
That is what makes Robert Lathan an elite tailback, is he waited for that play to develop and his blocks to set up. Even though it was 4th and 5, he needed to let the play develop, and he did. Next thing you know, he's sprinting down the sideline. 1st and goal, Hartley.
Out at about the 7-yard line. And again, another 4th down. And, that does 2 things. Gives the offense a lot of confidence and really demoralizes the defense.
Absolutely. They almost had the play strung out, but Lathan managed to get to the sideline.
First down and goal. Offset eye now, and Lathan takes the ball, and he finds a seam, and he's into the end zone for the touchdown. Well, Brian, just like you said earlier, 1 run or 1 yard, 2 yards, 3 yards, and all of a sudden he explodes on a couple of plays, and it's good for 6 points.
And that was Lathan's 8th rushing touchdown of the season to make it 6-0 Hartley.
Did a nice job of picking his way through there, and again, give credit to the blockers for opening up just enough room. And, the good thing with Robert Lathan is you don't have to give him a lot of room. You give him a seam, and he'll find it. He'll utilize it. Hawks going to attempt the extra point here. Galich the holder. The kick is up, and that kick is good. So Hartley, thanks to Brady Newsome in the extra point, has a 7-0 lead here over Watkins Memorial. So it's not a bad start to this game, huh? Your defense goes 3 and out, and your offense converts on a third down, a couple of fourth downs, and puts the ball in the end zone.
Long drive of matriculating the ball down the field. That's exactly what the doctor ordered for Hartley after somewhat sluggish performance last week, offensively, certainly.
Yeah, and that's a really good point. After you go all through regulation last week and you get 0 points to come out on the very first drive and to execute like that, that'll make you feel a lot better as a quarterback and running back and receivers.
Yeah, and penalties, especially holding, were so detrimental in quelling drives last week, and we didn't see a flag once on that march by the Hawks.
And I think that the one play where you can really say great job in no flags is when Lathan went to the outside. So many times on a play like that, you'll see a player, pull somebody down and, panic a little bit because the blocks aren't setting up. Didn't happen here. And they get the ball into the end zone. So now they're going to kick it away with just under 7 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. That ball angled toward the far side of the field, taken by an up man at the 20-yard line, trying to come all the way across the field. And the ball is out, and there's a scramble for it. Hartley says that they have it. And indeed they do. Great job of pouncing on the football by the Hartley Hawks. So that is Riley Asher that gets on it.
Just when I was ready to compliment Watkins on another great kick return, the ball stripped away and Hawks pounce on it immediately.
Boy, now you have an opportunity to really set the tone early in this game. If you can get that offense right back out there and get some more points. Long game. It's not over even if you put it in the end zone again here, but boy, you take good control, especially when you're the home team.
You got to wonder if this is your moment to have that play action to Lathan and try and find someone on the outside.
4 receivers set. They're not going to play act, but they are going to move to the right and make a throw. That gets knocked down. That's a good defensive play by Watkins as Rocco Pascal, he comes in there. He's a senior and he's a linebacker, and he just got the hands up and batted that ball to the ground.
Yeah, and he had a good series last time, even though they were marched upon by the Hawks, but he had good penetration, and hey, that's a lesson to all defensive linemen. Always get your hands up at the end there.
Same formation here for Hartley. Lathan, the lone setback. And they don't hand him the football. Galich tries to keep it himself. He's driving, but he's going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage. This is going to be a 3rd down and 10 coming up here for the Hawks. So they tried to use Lathan as a decoy that time.
Little read option. You don't see that a lot at Jack Ryan Field from the Hawks, but, sprinkling in something like that, you never know when it yields results, but Watkins was all over it at that point.
Jake Lee was the guy that really got in there and kind of created the confusion, and that led to the tackle. So they'll go empty set here on 3rd down. They gave him a yard, so 3rd down and 9 officially here as Galich is back in the shotgun. Started to look right, now looking back to the left. He's got a man in the end zone, and it's in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Callaway. He just separated from the defender at the last second and couldn't hold on.
A beautifully thrown ball. I think that Callaway lost it for a moment. He sort of hesitated at the goal line and then tried an over-the-shoulder catch that would have been magnificent. But to Galich's credit, he threw it where only his receiver could get the ball.
So that'll bring up a 4th down, and the Hawks come out with the offense to go for it again. They're feeling confident on 4th downs. They converted on 2 of them on the first drive. Why not try another one here? And again, they go with a 5-receiver set. Now, Lathan is one of those receivers. It's a wingman off to the right, part of a 3-receiver set to the far side of the field, but now there's going to be a penalty. So the one of the receivers, and that's Napier, he jumped.
Snap. All start on the offense. 4th down.
And the hard count actually worked on the defensive line. They moved just enough, but unfortunately out wide. Napier did as well.
So the ball is at the 39-yard line now. And they are going to stay out there with the offense and go for it.
You're really in no man's land at this point.
Yeah.
You take your pick.
Right. If you punt it, you're trying to punt toward the corner, and it's too far for a field goal, so what the heck. See if you can pick it up. You just had a throw that got to the end zone a few moments ago. Here comes pressure. Golich stays in the pocket, throws, and that ball is caught by Lathan, and it will be a touchdown. He pulled it in at the 15-yard line and took it the rest of the way himself.
I mean, he's got to be one of the better players in Central Ohio. He had 2 interceptions, Bob, last week on 4th down, and now on a square in on 4th and 15, steals the ball from the corner, and he's gone.
And that was a great job by Golich to stay composed in the pocket, because there was plenty of pressure that was coming his way. And again, it was Rocco Pascal, the linebacker, who was coming free, and it was to the side where he could see him.
Absolutely.
But he stayed right there.
Golich stayed in, though.
So they attempt the extra point, and another kick is up, and another kick is good. And Hartley, they score a touchdown on the ensuing kickoff. They force a fumble, get the ball back, and back into the end zone they go to take a 14-0 lead.
Yeah, an ideal start for the Hawks, and showing a lot of versatility on offense.
Yeah, they certainly are. And, throwing the ball and throwing it on target and letting the receivers do the work. And as you said, maybe the best ball, one of the 2 best balls that was thrown, was the one that was dropped in the end zone, too.
Yeah, and if you have the leading rusher in the history of your school that can go out on a pass pattern on 4th and 15, catch it between 2 of the best defenders on the other team, and then have the presence of mind to turn it upfield, good luck defending that sort of thing.
I was going to say, as a defensive coordinator, I realize my night's going to be long. Could potentially be that way anyhow. So we shall see. So let's see how deep this kick gets. It was Braden Hart that took it last time, and he took it at the 20-yard line. He's the one that had it knocked out of his hands. They haven't gotten it back to one of the 2 deep men yet. Don't know if that's by design or if the kick just hasn't traveled that far. Let's see. I think it's by design. Yeah, they want it over there on the 20-yard line once again. Here comes Hart, and he's got blockers, and he gets hit, and he's dropped at the 41-yard line.
Yeah, I think there was only about a 1 or 2 step windup on the kick. So, yeah, Bob, I agree with you. I think that's by design, but Hart's making them pay. I mean, that's 2 out of 3 times they've gotten past the 40-yard line on kickoffs.
Now, again, the last time they did it, the defense was very stout. 3 plays and a punt. So this is what they will attempt to have happen again here. And if you're that Watkins offense, you've been sitting over there for a long time waiting to get back out on the field.
Yeah, and you've got to figure you at least need to get a first down or 2 just to change the momentum of the game and let your defense breathe for a moment.
Drew Samsel in the shotgun formation with 1 running back. Get a quick official timeout here as they're sending one of the Warriors off. Evan Ryan, junior offensive lineman, has to go to the sideline, so hustling in is Ethan Jonas.
That looked like an equipment issue. I saw him putting his pants back over his socks.
Here's a handoff, and going up the middle for just a couple of yards is Graham Smith. Junior running back, 5'10", 185 pounds.
You got to wonder if this is the drive when they get Mr. Ricketts involved.
Well, you would think that's going to happen sooner than later here, being down by 14 already. Jaden Ricketts, wide receiver. And Ricketts, who wears number 19. They're going with a tight formation right here. But a shotgun set. Bring a man in motion, hand it off, sweep out to the far side of the field, and it can't quite turn the corner. Nice job of pursuit by the Hartley defense.
Yeah, they had a bunch formation. They had Ricketts in almost as a tight end, and they used that for the purposes of a sweep. For a moment, it looked like it might work. But, boy, that is quite a play by Odin Mertz.
Absolutely. He read that. He found his way through traffic, and he didn't let go of the ball carrier. 3rd down and 5. And you talked about this, Brian. They need a first down to get a little bit of confidence, and there's time, and there's a throw, and that's a catch over on the far sideline. Dylan Kennedy picking up the first down as he makes that reception.
Yeah, that looked like the smoothest of the offensive snaps so far for Watkins. The timing was perfect. Kennedy was wide open, and the quarterback delivered it on time. and in rhythm.
So first down and 10, the ball inside the Hartley 45 at the 44. Fake handoff. Samsel running on the left side. They've caught him, and they're going to bring him down. That is a great job by the Hawks once again, and getting in there, Roderick Gates.
Yeah, Gates came untouched to the edge. Great form tackle. We'll call it no gain on that one, Bob.
Yeah, that's a play that they've been waiting for. They know it's a mobile quarterback. He's going to try to run the ball. Their design runs in this offense here for the Warriors. And they saw one right there, and the defense was up to the task. Loss of 1, second down and 11. Samsel, again, he's got time, and he unleashes one down the near sideline. And this is going to be an incomplete pass, and there are flags. And I'll tell you why, because Jaden Ricketts just hauled down the defensive back.
Yeah, Ricketts was running a corner route, and the ball was underthrown considerably. And, yeah, he just pulled down Hartley corner. That was Melly, wasn't it?
Just pulls him down, and he takes the penalty instead of possibly taking the interception there.
Yeah, that was probably going to be a pick.
Offensive pass interference, number 19 of the offense.
So you asked me when we're going to see Jaden Ricketts, and there he is. Not the way he wants to be seen. But again, probably a smart play on his part.
Absolutely. And to be honest with you, a well-thrown ball is still 50-50, but those are the odds you probably want if you're Watkins.
They've got a 6'1", 170-pound defensive back going up against 6', 195-pound receiver. So it is second down and 25. Time once again, but a little dump off and a little bit of running room as well, breaking some tackles and getting his way back to the 49-yard line for Watkins is Graham Smith.
Samsel's pass to Smith. Complete.
And that's what you count on that play call for the Warriors, is that just a little screen pass into the flat against his own defense, and you break a couple tackles, and next thing you know, you're in business.
And he did break a tackle at the 42. Breaks another one just before he gets to the 50 and leans into Hartley territory. But it is third down and 14. Little pressure coming. Now the quarterback will just take it himself, and he goes sliding down at the 35-yard line. I think that's going to be a yard short of the first down.
Yeah, he slid a little bit too early there with that new rule that's been enacted within the last couple of years, that the minute you start the slide is where they mark the ball. So that leaves him a yard short. Obviously, the Warriors are going to go for it here.
And it looks like they're going to beef up here and just try to pound that ball in for 1 yard. Get a new set of downs.
Jumbo package on the field.
Yes, indeed. 3 running backs in a straight eye behind Samsel, the quarterback. And he'll hand it off to the tailback, and he's got the first down, and he's down inside the 30. And once again, that's Graham Smith.
Yeah, the old I formation. Were we back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s? Fantastic to see.
And it opened right up.
And honestly, that's a missed tackle away from maybe going to the house as well, because Hartley was loaded up on the defensive front as well.
First down and 10. They place the ball right at the 30-yard line of Hartley. They like that play so much, they come right back with that same triple I formation. And they hand it to the man in the middle this time. And he pounds his way right through the middle of the line for a couple of yards. Rocco Pascal.
Pascal's been so active on defense, they thought they'd give him a little shine on offense. Up back gets the ball, and it's forward yardage for Watkins, who's on the march.
That's right. They give him 4 yards on that play. Now, isn't it ironic when you have weapons where you can drop your quarterback and do design runs, and you can throw to a D1 commit wide receiver, but yet, guess what's worked most effectively? Good old-fashioned running game.
The I formation with all its variations.
Here we go, back in the shotgun. They fake the handoff and throw in a quick slant pattern. That's incomplete. The intended receiver that time was Jaden Ricketts.
Yeah, I think at this point they're just trying to get him involved in the game, try to run a quick little slant. The ball was a little low, but coverage by Gates was certainly on point.
Yes, indeed it was. And now that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 6. Bring Ricketts over to the near side of the field this time.
And again, you're probably in that territory where you're almost planning for 2 plays.
Roll out to the near side. And Samsel, he wants to throw, and he throws to the end zone, but that play is well over. There is a flag at the end. That flag was dropped in the middle of the field.
Pass, incomplete.
It's going to be against Watkins.
Yeah, they tried to get the ball to Ricketts down the right sideline, but he was bracketed by the corner and safety. And to be honest with you, Samsel was just throwing that ball away, but penalty struck and back go the Warriors. Although I stand corrected, they declined the penalty.
Okay. Now would leave a 4th down and 6. No, they are going to take it.
Are they? Okay.
It appears.
An eligible man downfield on the offense.
So an ineligible receiver downfield. Hartley will take this penalty. It'll bring the ball back to the 36-yard line, where it is 3rd down. Oh, and the snap goes through the hands of the quarterback, and he just smartly dives on the football. Drew Samsel couldn't bring it in off the snap, and so he dives on it at the 50-yard line. And as much as they were really marching down the field the last couple of plays, they've gone the wrong direction.
And that's where Coach Melly made the correct decision ultimately on accepting that penalty instead of opting for a 4th and 6.
Place the ball at the 48-yard line, but this will be
4th down.
A 4th down coming up. And so they are going to kick the ball away. Ace Weigel, sophomore kicker, will do the punting here. And that's going to be the end of the first quarter. So the first quarter belongs to the Bishop Hartley Hawks, no matter how you look at it. The defense on the very first series forcing Watkins to go 3 and out. The offense getting a touchdown. The special teams forcing a fumble. The offense getting a second touchdown. And now the defense is held on this drive where they're forcing the Warriors to punt the football.
Yeah, it's a great start for Hartley. Everything going according to plan. You can see that Watkins has tried in that last drive where they had some success running the ball and then trying to get the ball to their Ohio State commit, Jaden Ricketts. But Hartley's been up to the task, especially in the secondary, Bob.
Well, for 35 years, Mr. Ernie Nellen has been serving the Bishop Hartley community. And the tradition is the Mr. Ernie wave. So that's what they're doing on the field right now. There's Mr. Ernie giving the wave. And they're waving right back at him. Also, welcome back to the classes of 1985 and the class of 2000. Is it just me? That doesn't seem that long ago.
No, just like yesterday, doesn't it? You and I remember those 2 years.
85 doesn't seem like yesterday, but it seems like really good time. The 2000, that doesn't seem that far back. The punt, they do just get it away, and this ball rolls inside the 15. And it does take a good Warriors roll all the way down to the 9-yard line where it will be finally downed. And the Hartley offense has a long way to go here.
It wasn't pretty, but you'll take the win if you're the Watkins Memorial Special Teams unit.
Yeah, you got that right. He barely got it away with all the traffic. But at the end of the day, Matt Golich and company, they've got to go 91 yards if they want to get back into that end zone. But again, when you're preparing for this game, you're preparing for Hartley, you're preparing for Lathan a lot, right? And they haven't used him a lot. He's got 2 touchdowns. When you just look at the box score, you say, what do you mean they're not using him a lot? Well, he's only touched the ball a couple of times, but he's been effective when he has.
Yeah, they've proven they can pass the ball around.
Galich under center here. He'll hand it off to Lathan. He's trying to bounce to the outside, and he will. He's still on his feet, and we've got a flag that flies in right at the end of the play. He's tackled for a loss.
Yeah, the flag came from the back judge. It looks like it's on the offense.
Indeed it is.
This is where you would expect to have a steady dose of Robert Lathan. You're up 2 touchdowns, you're at home, you're in control of the game, especially defensively, and you're backed up. And this is where you want your workhorse back to churn out a couple of first downs.
Calls a block in the back, and that will take him half the distance to the goal. So the ball is back inside the 5-yard line.
And it feels like there are creases materializing that we didn't see maybe on the first or second drive, which is frankly why Hartley went to the aerial assault, which yielded results.
Although set up in the shotgun with Galich standing on the goal line. Taking the snap, looking to throw, and he throws to the near sideline, and that ball is dropped. It went right in and out of the hands of Napier, and that was very much a situation where he was looking to run before he had the ball secured.
He certainly was, and that was kind of a dangerous throw from the far hash line, all the way across the goal line.
Well, you know, he more than likely could hear the footsteps.
Yeah, credit to Alex Arthurs. He, the cornerback for Watkins, diagnosed that play early, and he was on the move.
I mean, if you can hear it and the ball's not in your hands yet, you know you're going to get popped. So you tend to take a peek. They go with a similar play here, swinging out to the near side and breaking a tackle at the 5, but not the one at the 6-yard line, is Callaway, Ja'Kai Callaway, just trying to get out of the shadow of your own goal line right there on that play.
Absolutely. And this is a little bit more of a wide open attack, certainly than we saw last week from the Hawks.
To get a timeout on the field.
I think we've got a player shaken up for the Warriors.
Yes, you're correct. You're calling for the trainers as Alex Arthurs, senior defensive back, is a little bit slow and heading off to the far sideline. He is walking under his own power. That's usually a good sign.
Yeah, he's been in on the last 2 tackles, so certainly a physical player out there on the perimeter.
Maybe a guy you don't mind being out of the game on 3rd down and long.
Yeah, you would think your receivers are going to have a little bit more room to maneuver.
So let's see if they can. Got Lathan in the backfield, set up to the left of his quarterback. Big 3rd down play right here for Galich from his own end zone. Plenty of time, and he throws over the middle. That is caught at the 22-yard line. That's going to be a 1st down. He just waited and waited, and all of a sudden, Jonathan Quarty was wide open.
Yeah, what a job by the Hartley offensive line. He had all day to bounce on his toes, and then Quarty came across the middle of the field, and 1st down Hawks.
There is no white shirt in the area when he makes that catch.
No, they ran the wide receivers deep, and it just opened up the middle of the yard, and there you go.
So another conversion for the Hawks. 3rd down and long. And, yeah, to your point, that offensive line, as a quarterback, you know what? When you're standing and it's not green under your feet, it's blue because you're in the end zone, you can get nervous in a hurry.
Bob, I would have liked your chances with that kind of time.
I don't know about that. Here comes a run. And here's Lathan. And he's into the open field. And here he goes. 30, 20, 10. Touchdown, Robert Lathan.
Lathan will carry it in the end zone for 6.
77 yards to the house on a basic off-tackle play. Once he hit that second level, you just knew he was gone.
Yeah, there was no chance. And he was behind everybody in a hurry. And look at the separation that he has. There's 4 players chasing him. 0 have a chance of catching him.
Well, I know that he worked on his speed in the offseason, actually lost a couple of pounds, which for a fellow like that, maybe the rest of us could benefit from that sort of thing. But nevertheless,
I could lose 100 and couldn't run like that.
He turned on the Jets and it was just over.
Yes, it was. And it's really what you were talking about in the first quarter when he was getting his runs of 2 yards and 3 yards. And all of a sudden, as you said, just a simple off-tackle run. Extra point attempt is up, and it is good. So they put it through once again. Nice job there by Brady Newsom, the junior kicker, to make it a 21-0 lead for the Hartley Hawks.
21, Warriors 0.
And you have to wonder from a mental standpoint, where's Watkins at this point? They're obviously a talented team, but they're 1-2. They're coming off a 3-touchdown loss to Taze Valley, and Hartley's just gotten on top of them early.
Yeah, the way they've done it too, right? I mean, they're coming back 3rd down and long, converting. 4th down and long, converting. It just, to this point, whatever Hartley has touched has turned to gold, and whatever Watkins has tried to do, it's just not worked for them.
Yeah, you got to feel like the Hawks are in their bag offensively. There's been a lot of different sets, a lot of different play calls, and they've all produced points.
This has been fun to watch. This is my first chance to watch this offense in action this year. And, you know, for years and years, you talked about Bishop Hartley. You know they're going to run the football 102 times a game, and they might throw it if they have to here and there. And it's varied in different years based on who the quarterback and the receivers were. But this offense it's very balanced. And this is exactly what they're trying to do. They're trying to mix everybody in. I think that's another good point here. So many guys have touched the ball in the early part of this game. And here's a bouncing ball that is picked up at the 10-yard line. Take it all the way back across the field and get up across the 30 and out to about the 38-yard line on the return that time. It was Dalen Long.
Return Newsom's kickoff.
A bright spot for the visitors has been their kick return unit.
Sure has.
Twice past the 40, that time to the 35. Obviously, you lose a lot of points on the fumble, but nevertheless, they've gotten their plays blocked up.
And that was another one where if that tackle was not made, he might be gone.
Shoestring tackle away.
Well, they're looking for something to hang their hats on right now, talking about the Warriors of Watkins Memorial.
They keep lining Ricketts up in the slot, if you've noticed.
It's on the near side, and they hand it off. And Graham Smith isn't going anywhere this time. The defense had that one read.
Smith with a carry.
And looked like the first guy through there was Ezra Kahasi.
Yeah, Hartley's winning at both lines of scrimmage, and that's basic football.
And again, when you look at it, and I'm just talking about the visuals of it, when they line up, if I just took a still photo and I showed it to you and I said, now which one of these teams is dominating on the line? I don't know you're picking the Hawks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you might be hard-pressed just from looking at these guys coming off the bus.
Second down play, and a pass across the middle, and that is caught. I'll tell you what, that is a great tackle turned in by the Hawks, and that was Odin Mertz on the tackle. They may have gotten a first down, but the receiver paid the price for it.
Well, and that's what Brian Hartline likes about Mr. Ricketts. He ran a skinny post and just sold the in cut beautifully, and that ball's on him right when he makes his break. Well executed by Watkins.
First down and 10 inside of Hartley territory at the 44-yard line here. 8:41 to go in the first half, and a handoff over on the right side. And this time Smith finds some running room, and he gets to the far sideline, and it looks like he's got that first down.
Well, and as you brought up earlier, it's amazing how you get one long completion, and next thing you know, it's easier to run the ball.
Yeah, no question about it. And so here's a little bit of confidence that Watkins is playing with for the first time tonight.
This feels as close to a must-score drive as you'll find in the first half.
Yeah, I agree with you. There's a lot of time to play here, but you're right, because they just have had nothing going their way. Smith this time up the middle, leans forward and gets taken down at the 31. So he'll only get a couple on that run.
Wrapped up by Jay Zach.
Hartley's a difficult team to run against. They clog the middle pretty effectively, and with linebackers like Jay Zhang as their leading tackler, he's a multi-year starter. He plugs gaps pretty well.
Yeah, he really, really does. And if you're going to run, you want to run in a different direction than the one he's coming in, and that's hard to do. Here's a snap and a quick handoff. And there is pressure, trying to turn the corner and getting there, but not really advancing it as far upfield as he wanted to was Braden Hart.
And that was great pursuit by LaRon Golden. From his linebacker spot, tracked the ball carrier to the sideline, and eliminated a big play. That snap had some potential to go on the sideline for sure.
So they got about 3 yards to go here for the first down. Now hand it off to Smith, and again he tries the middle. He's pushing and driving, and they're going to spot this inside the 25.
Smith
Well,
with the
one
carry.
on one side of the field they have it on the 25, and one inside the 25. There's a big difference because if it's on the 25, it's not a first down.
We might get to see the chain gang out here. Oh, I think they've ruled him short.
No, they did. Well, there's a pretty good bet what's going to happen here on 4th down and not even a yard.
Although, could we see that I formation again?
May not need to do that. Graham Smith is picking up yards, and they have him set up as a lone setback, and here he's got the first down. He breaks through and dives ahead to the 16.
Great execution there by Watkins.
Smith with a carry.
I was a little surprised, Bob, that they lined up in a shotgun, but they know their strengths.
Yeah, well, I think on this drive, they've done that how many times, and he's just churning up some yardage. So they say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Smith back there again is a lone setback. They fake the handoff to him. Roll to the near side, throw to the end zone. Outside the receiver's reach, incomplete, and a flag at the end of the play. I think we have another ineligible man downfield here.
Although for Hartley, Jamari Stokes with great coverage in the end zone. There was no room for that ball to go.
Now we'll take a
Ineligible
look
man
there.
downfield. Number 74, the offense.
So again,
First down.
Watkins, they make a mistake. They have one of their linesmen get downfield. It's going to cost them 5 yards.
Yeah, and you could almost feel them setting up that play. They had run the ball so well in the interior. And they did a little waggle out to the left and just couldn't execute with the line.
Drew Samsel getting the play from the sideline here. Clock turning, under 6 minutes to go in the first half. 21-0 Hawks lead. Here's a handoff. Sweep to the near side. And it's going to be Ricketts who tiptoes the line, and he gets all the way down inside the 5-yard line.
And he lowered his helmet
Ricketts
at the
with a
6
carry.
and made 3 extra yards the hard way.
He sure did. Well, they haven't been able to throw him the ball, so they just give it to him on the jet sweep here. And there's the collision, and there's the 3 yards you talked about.
It's good physicality by number 19.
So it'll be first down and goal.
Bob, I wonder if he went out of bounds because they marked him at the 4.
I think he did. And they've stopped the clock. And here's a handoff to Smith. No, they don't hand it off to him. Samsel kept it, and that turned out to be the wrong decision. He's dropped back at the 9-yard line.
Great play by Joe Zhang on the perimeter with an arm tackle.
Well, that'll drop him back about a good 5 yards. When you have to wonder if every little thing that goes wrong here, how it works on the psyche of the offense of Watkins.
Yeah, and you look here, they've got Ricketts out wide to the far side.
Well, they've got 3 chances at this, right? I mean, they're going to go 3 times. Smith takes the football, and again, he finds running room to get it back inside the 5-yard line. Looks like it's down to about the 3.
Smith with a carry.
Old-fashioned smash mouth football there.
Yeah, line up your best guy to the outside, take somebody away from there, and pound it up the middle. Well, now they're just going to go with the jumbo formation again, it looks like. You may see your triple set eye here again.
Indeed, play clock's running down, though.
You're going to have Smith dot the I here. The up man is Patrick Schroyer, and they are going to have to take a timeout. You're right. They were down to 3 seconds on the play clock. Or Hartley takes a timeout.
Yeah, it looks like Hartley didn't like the looks of that, although
Hartley.
I will tell you, it looked as though Watkins might have been a little rushed at the end of the play clock, but I think the choice had already been made by Coach Melly.
Ohio Health, elite care.
Well, again, if they line up that same way, you got Patrick Schroyer, who's the first guy behind the quarterback. He's 6'1", 195 pounds. And then we've seen Rocco Pascal take the ball, 5'9", 205. And then the guy that's been the workhorse on this drive, Graham Smith, 5'10", 185. He's the guy dotting that I. So, you know, they used the big man to – what they have done so far is they've used the up man to go ahead and clear some space, and you can hand it off to either of those other two.
A lot of options, and we've also seen Samsel call his own number on a keeper. So
that is true. That is something he's very capable of doing as well. Third down and goal from the 4-yard line. Samsel hands it off. No, he does keep it, and he wants to throw it to the back of the end zone. He had a man and couldn't find him. Oh, my goodness, wide open was Jake Lash, the sophomore tight end, and he couldn't get him the football.
And he had Schroyer in the flat, too. Look at that. He had two guys open, and he just rushed himself.
He did, rolling right, and it just sailed on him.
Yeah, if he just put that thing out there, one of the two of them was going to catch it.
So now let's see how they wind up on 4th down and goal. Looks like they're going to go with a big spread formation here.
Credit to the coaching snap on that snap, because they had that play diagnosed perfectly. Wide open.
Are they going to snap this? No, they're going to have to call a timeout. They started rushing to the line. There were only 5 seconds on the play clock. So Watkins has to take a timeout here. That is the first of their 3.
Well, if you're the Warriors, you want to get this right, because this is their best chance to stay in the ball game. As you and I had alluded to earlier, you just feel like they have to get a touchdown here, especially with the way Hartley is running the ball and willing to get it out to its playmakers on the perimeter as well.
Yeah, you're right. And, you know, you would think that Hartley is going to maybe look to run the ball a little bit more, keep the clock running. However, you know, pass to the middle and those kind of things just to get that clock running, and you'd much rather be doing that up by 3 touchdowns than 2. So this is a huge play, the biggest one so far here for Watkins, without question. 4th down and goal from the 4-yard line.
Yeah, this is one of those plays where, hey, best one in the book, fellas.
And they're going to spread it out this time. They've got a 5-receiver set in there. Ricketts is in a slot to the right. And they fake a handoff. The quarterback tries to go up the middle or just off tackle. And Hartley says they've got him stopped. And the officials concur. Wow, what a play. Had everybody moving right and looking right. The quarterback comes back to the left. But you know what? The linebackers stayed in their spots and make that play.
Well, they tried misdirection, and Jake Beatty was just not buying it. All-district caliber player, really made a play on defense there.
An absolutely huge play with 4:10 to go in the first half. The Hawks maintain their 21-0 lead. And you remember the start of that last drive, Brian, they were right back in this very same position. They were throwing the ball out of the end zone to convert.
Yeah, and they were able to do so when they had that drag route across the middle.
And they are set up in a shotgun formation in the end zone here. On a 1st down play, Galich, again, they give him time, and he lets it fly down the near sideline, and this ball is incomplete. He had 2 receivers in almost the same place. And I'll tell you something, the first one was really fighting for position there, and that was Napier.
Beautifully thrown ball, but you had 2 wideouts running the same route.
Yeah, yes, indeed. I mean, they almost crossed up each other.
They did, and that's a lot of courage for Hartley going for the jugular on 1st down.
See what they come with here on 2nd down. One would think you might try to run and get some yards and get away from that goal line.
Yeah, I would think you'll see the bell cow at work here.
I mean, you got one of the best in the area standing there in the backfield wearing number 1. They're going to pitch it to him. And he is not going to get much. He's out at about the 5-yard line, maybe the 6.
Got a little bit of room, but that was strung out nicely by number 16 for Watkins, Patrick Schroyer, who forced Lathan out of bounds.
So we're looking at another 3rd down, but, you know, again, with what Hartley has done offensively tonight, this is manageable. 3rd down and 7.
Oh, indeed. This has been a lot closer than some of their conversions thus far.
Yeah, it really has been. Galich comes back up under center. And he's going to hand it off. And this time there won't be the running room that there has been for Lathan. So 4th down play coming up. And the Hawks are going to be forced to punt this one away deep in their own zone.
And Lathan himself will go back in punt formation typically. Yep, there he is.
Yes, indeed. Well, you got to get everybody some work tonight, right? Might as well get the punt team out there. Although kicking it out of the end zone is not always the best way to get the first kick, but you're up 21-0. And they are hustling to get a man in. There's only 2 seconds left on the play clock.
Be a timeout for Hartley. Oh, they snapped
it. They did snap it. And here's Lathan's kick. It's a pretty good one. It's all the way back to midfield. And it is taken there and rushed to the far side. And a good job of tackling inside the 45-yard line. The man that was returning was Carter Armitage.
A strange series of events, but I think Hartley would probably take that if you would have told him, Bob, before the play, they're going to get the ball at the 42-yard line.
Yeah.
Probably take your chances.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. Good job on the tackle there by Napier, by the way, on special teams. You know, you talked about it. The kickoff return is where Watkins has been the strongest. That's their first punt return. That was good coverage by the Hawks. It was a good kick by Lathan. I mean, he really bombed it out of the end zone, the midfield.
Absolutely. That could have been his longest of the year.
So Watkins again, they hand it off. Smith coming off tackle left side, and he goes down at about the 38-yard line. His knee hit at the 38. He fully extended the body trying to get the extra 2.
And you're starting to see that big offensive line that you've talked about just slowly but surely start to assert itself on some of these runs.
Yeah, that's a situation where maybe halftime comes at a good time. We'll see. Under 2.5 minutes to go to that. Smith with it again, and he gets through to the 35-yard line, taken down to the 34. I'll tell you, the guy was right in there again. It's Roderick Gates. Plays that linebacker position and comes up and lays a good hit.
Yeah, there's some good physicality in the middle of the yard there. 3rd and short.
Definitely 2-down territory right here for Watkins, trailing 21-0. Under 2 minutes to go in the first half. Sampson in that shotgun as he has been most of the night. He'll roll to the right. Wants to keep it himself. Bouncing to the outside, and again, they've got him contained.
Samson with a carry.
Roderick Gates played that perfectly. He strung out the blocker and just kept pushing Samson to the sideline without letting him churn up field. I mean, that's just great effort by Gates.
Yeah, that is a fantastic job there. As you said, he used the running back to his advantage, pushing him into his quarterback. So it's going to be 4th down and 4.
Loss on the play. Zhang came to clean it up on the sideline.
When even if you convert on this, look, there's down to just over a minute remaining. They tried to go with the hard count and draw the Hawks offside. And now we're going to get a timeout.
That's the last timeout by the Warriors of the half.
So that was the, that was the plan. Go with the hard count, see if we can get the 5-yard penalty, which will give us a first down. That doesn't work out, so now they're going to have to figure out what play to go with. And the Hawks have been terrific when it's come to 3rd down, 4th downs defensively here in this game. They just stopped the play from the 3-yard line a few minutes ago. And as I was saying, this is one of those situations where even if you get the first down here, it depends how you get it. If you got a long pass, if you went to the end zone or you get halfway there, that's one thing. If you just run and you get the 4 yards, 5 yards, well, the clock starts to become your enemy quick.
Mm-hmm. You would think they'd be more inclined to pass at this point, but we'll see.
Well, they will. They'll pass it out to Ricketts, and he makes the catch, and he is immediately wrapped up, and he is brought down. Oh, what a job of coverage that time by Odin Mertz.
Samson's pass to Ricketts.
And Watkins chose to go to their best player on the most important down of the game. You can't blame him there, but Mertz had that one read all the way. Perfect leverage on the form tackle.
Well, and Dylan Kennedy had him. and he was blocking him, and he just shed the blocker, came off of it, and went right to the receiver.
You almost wonder, Bob, on that route, is 4 or 5 yards a little too much? Because that was a lateral, if not behind the line of scrimmage pass. But again, you're throwing it to an Ohio State commit, so you're taking your chances on that. But Hartley snuffed it out pretty easily.
First down for the Hawks. 58 seconds to go here in the first half, and Galich is going to throw near sideline. That is caught and staying inbounds and getting up to about the 43-yard line is Callaway.
Complete.
I'll tell you what, I like him. He can make that catch, and he can shake some tacklers.
Just a superb athlete.
Picked up 7. It'll be second down and 3. Galich forced out of the pocket. There's a flag. And he runs to the far sideline trying to get to the marker, and he got hit and taken down hard on that sideline.
Galich will keep it.
But the penalty is against the Hawks.
And the Hawks supporters were asking for a late hit on the far sideline. Looked pretty close at the end of that run.
Second down.
Yeah, I agree. It was close. We'll get another look at it. See the flags come flying in, but here comes the hit on the far sideline. Tell you something. If the flag would have flown, I don't think anybody on the field would have been surprised.
No, but that Pascal likes contact. We've seen him in on quite a handful of plays. That old-fashioned 44 on the linebacker with the Iowa/Steelers jerseys.
Yeah, it's almost like you should play that way if you're wearing that, right? And he does. They put Galich up under center now with Lathan in the backfield. Second down and 13. Lathan takes the handoff, and he's going to be brought down at the 35. Only 19 seconds left, so the Hawks content to run out the clock here in the first half, as well they should be, because what a first half it was, Brian. 21-0. Hartley has the lead, and we've just talked about it for the entire first half of this game. It's the way they've gotten the lead. It's the way they've mixed the pass and the run. They've made the big play when they've had to make the big play. And, oh, by the way, the defense has made several really big plays in this one, stopping Watkins 2 times on fourth down.
Hawks just hitting on all cylinders, whereas you could define last week as pretty sluggish. They've just come out very alert, attentive, grabbed a commanding lead, and don't look like they're going to relinquish it anytime soon, Bob.
No, they really don't. And, again, there is another half of football to play. You know, you did mention it, that Watkins offensive line, maybe their size is starting to wear on Hartley. Who knows? We'll find out in the second half of this game. But the bottom line is this. Even if they're wearing them down, even if they're creating some openings now, they cannot get the ball beyond the sticks on fourth down, and they're turning it back over to the Hawks.
Indeed, and Hartley has had a couple of long time-consuming drives as well, with one more of those, and you're going to reduce the number of possessions to the point where I don't know if you can get 3 or 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be fun to see what happens in the second half of this game, but I'll tell you what, the first half was pretty impressive by the home team, the Hawks, who, we talked about it going in. Last week they couldn't buy a point in regulation. Had to go to overtime before they scored and won the game. And this couldn't be any more opposite what we've seen so far.
And credit to Coach Melly and his staff. It feels like they're really confident with the playbook. We've seen all sorts of formations. They've gotten the ball out of the flat. Callaway's become a big part of the attack today. And then obviously, when you've got number 1, you've just got so many options, and every play could be a touchdown.
Robert Lathan, 3 touchdowns tonight in different ways. He's caught it and run it in. He's taken the handoff and run it in. It's been some kind of special here. And it's a special night. It's homecoming here at Bishop Hartley. So we're going to step aside here and let you enjoy the pictures of homecoming, and the bands will be playing, and we'll be back with more as we get set for the second half of football between the Hawks and Watkins Memorial. Bishop Hartley with a 21-0 lead.
Bishop Hartley cheerleaders. Ladies, your music is on.
Light it up, so explosive, you crazy girl, yeah. Baby, what you doing, where you at, why you acting so shy, hold 'em back, we're not the only ones doing it like that.
once again, Bishop Hartley High School cheerleaders.
Under the direction of Mr. Robert Davis, Assistant Director Stephanie Smiley, Percussion Director Ross Music, and Guard Instructor Nicole Kinlan, and being led onto the field by Drum Majors Elizabeth Deppa and Abby Lance. Please welcome to the field the 72nd edition Watkins Memorial Marching Warriors. For tonight's halftime entertainment, we're proud to present Cinemagic, the music of John Williams. Grab your popcorn, sit back and relax as the Marching Warriors perform the iconic soundtracks to some of your favorite movies, featuring soloists Adia Conley, Shelby Jones, and Abram Toppy. Please enjoy selections from Star Wars, Superman, Harry Potter, and Jurassic Park. Later this year, the Marching Warriors and WM Choirs will travel to London, England to perform in the London New Year's Day Parade. To raise funds for this trip, the band boosters are raffling off a brand new Premier drum set valued at over $2,000. Tickets for the raffle are only $10 each. You can learn more about these opportunities by visiting www.watkinsmemorialbands.org.
Ladies and gentlemen, under the direction of Mr. Eli Williams, we proudly present the Bishop Hartley High School Marching Band. From an ogre who lives in a swamp to a fan-favorite superhero, the BHHS Band does it all. Grab some popcorn, get comfortable, we're going to the movies. Get ready to step into our Barbie dream house. The band is bringing the pink, the power, and the proof that being just Ken is more than enough. Please enjoy. I'm Just Ken. For our final song, we're taking a step back in time and a step into the multiverse to say bye bye bye. As seen in the 2024 summer hit Deadpool and Wolverine, this is NSYNC's Bye Bye Bye. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your Bishop Hartley High School Marching Band. Ladies and gentlemen, 50-50 time. Reach into your pockets. You're looking for red ticket 395-162. Once again, red 395-162. If you have it, come on up to the press box. As the official sports medicine provider of Bishop Hartley High School, Ohio Health is proud to keep our athletes healthy and in the game. Ohio Health medical experts are available 24/7, care for every student and active adult. Call 614-566-GAME anytime. Ohio Health, elite care for every athlete. Once again, that winning 50-50, red 395-162. Red 395-162.
Welcome back here to Bishop Hartley, where the Hawks have themselves a 21-0 lead over Watkins Memorial, getting set for the second half of this game. Brian Inglis along with Bob McElligott here. And Brian, I'll tell you something, that first half, all Hawks, offense, defense, what do you think we're going to see here in the second half?
I think we're going to see a lot of number one, to be honest with you. I think that this is the part of the game where you're going to want to salt it away. You're up 3 touchdowns. This first drive, though, will tell us a lot.
Yeah, the Hawks will get the ball to start this half. Speaking of, great planning and great timing, you just scored 21 points. Everything's going your way, and you get the ball to start the second half, just the way you like to have it as a coach.
Absolutely, and Hartley has not had to return a kickoff yet so far, Bob.
No,
so this will be
haven't.
a new experience for all of us.
You're absolutely right. That's a great point. They got the football on a turnover on downs. They then recovered a fumble on the ensuing kickoff after their first touchdown. And then they stopped fourth down play. Yeah, that's how they've gotten the football. They haven't had a return a kick. So let's see what happens here on the opening kickoff of the second half. And it's going to be Ace Weigel that will kick it away. He does. And it comes toward the near sideline, taken at the 7-yard line by the Hawks. And weaving their way all the way up over the 20-yard line, where it's going to be first down.
Forte will return Weigel's kick.
Yeah, Cordy made a couple of moves there and out past the 30. That would be considered good field position, and we'll see what the Hawks have in store for us.
Will indeed. Going to place that ball at the 21-yard line. And they've been able to do not everything that they've wanted to against this defense, but pretty darn close so far.
Yeah, absolutely. You've seen the skill position players with the ball. You've seen Lathan. You've even seen a quarterback keeper. And they're really hitting on all cylinders. So let's see if that can continue.
Matt Golich, quarterback under center. He's going to hand it off to Robert Lathan, looking for running room. Good job, as he always does. Puts the brakes on, stutter step, and then stays on his feet, still on his feet, and driving forward to finally blow this play dead at the 26-yard line.
Lathan with a carry.
Or sorry, the 36-yard line. Tell you what, that's a hard 5 yards right there.
Yeah, he waited for the hole to develop, and when he didn't, he just put his head down and rammed forward and kept those legs churning.
Kept the legs churning indeed, and gets halfway to that first down marker. Brian, how much you look to throw the ball here early on? You're up by 21. You see if you can lean on the run a little bit here and run some clock early in the third quarter?
I think you do, and I think you pick your spots. You don't want to pass when you have to pass, if that makes sense. I think you want to keep them off balance here.
Fake the handoff. Golich is under pressure, throws it in the near sideline. That is caught. Break a tackle and a first down. Ball is free, and it's on the field, and it looks like Watkins has recovered the fumble, and they have. That's the first break that they've gotten in this game.
Yeah, and that was a punishing hit. Actually, Golich made something out of nothing. It was a very nice catch by Napier, who tried to turn it up. Let's see who that is, Bob. Number 16.
Oh, yeah, we've seen Patrick
Schroyer just came and laid the wood. Ball came out immediately. You could hear that hit up here in the press box.
Yeah, it is. To me, that's a forgivable fumble because he gets hit. He's spinning around, has no idea that second guy is there, and then just gets leveled.
You got to tip your cap to Watkins on there because it was actually nicely designed, and they kind of had him off balance, fooled him with the second down pass.
So now it is going to be the senior quarterback Drew Samsel that tries to get his team going. There have been bursts, but it is flamed out right when they've gotten into a good scoring position. And here's a handoff, and this is going to be a first down, staying on his feet all the way down to about the 32-yard line. We have seen this guy come to life late in the first half, Graham Smith. And that's a good carry to start the second half for him.
It was a high snap, too. I wonder if that threw off the rhythm of the defensive line just enough to create that little crease.
Well, he gets out of the shoestring tackle and he picked up another 6 yards afterwards. Well, first down and 10. You know, we talked at the end of the first half as to whether or not the offensive line of Watkins was wearing down the defensive line of Hartley at all. I don't know if one play is an indication, but it certainly does get your attention, and it's something we'll watch closely here as they continue to run on this drive.
Indeed, it looked impressively on that down. There was some sort of confusion with the referees after that last play. Not sure what happened there, but looks like we're back to action.
First down at 10. Going to hand it off again, right back up the middle. This time the defense is ready for the play, and it's only going to be a pickup of 2 yards.
Yeah, they're going to the well with Smith. I think they feel like they've got something in the interior right now.
But again, at any moment, they could put it in the air and look for Jaden Ricketts on the outside. Have Ricketts lined up in the slot toward the near sideline to the bottom of your screen. Quarterback rolling out, looking to throw downfield. He's got a man, and that ball is dropped.
Samsol's pass to Ricketts.
Oh, it was a broken play to the far sideline. Ricketts was wide open, and you could tell he was already thinking about the end zone.
Yep, the football right there in his hands, and it looked like it hit his shoulder pad and then bounced away.
He adjusted very nicely to the scramble, came all the way across the formation, just could not haul it in.
So Samsel's now looking at a 3rd down and 7. Shotgun snap, handed off to Smith, and the interior of that line just piled up. Good job by the defense. They collapse to the middle and take care of that run.
Smith with a carry.
It's certainly too early to go clock watching, but the longer each of these drives for Watkins takes, the more compressed the game gets, and there's less room for error for them. So, again, every drive for them almost feels like a must touchdown.
They have been unsuccessful on 2 4th downs already in this game. They are hoping the 3rd time's a charm. Samsel's back. He's got time. Fires. Caught over the middle. They do convert. And the receiver is spun down at the 12-yard line. That was Dylan Kennedy on the catch.
Good play design, very accurate throw, and not quite 1st and goal. Looks like we're starting from the 12.
Now again, they're looking for something. They haven't been able to punch that ball into the end zone. They've gotten close. They've gotten it to 3 yards away. And they have been stopped every time. Samsel throws, and that is incomplete. That is just great coverage on the part of the Hawks, trying to get that quick throw over to Carter Armitage.
That's a tough slant route in the short side of the field like that. There was a lot of traffic that way.
So 2nd down and 10. And again, that run's been working so well for them, but it looks like they're almost begging to put the ball in the air. They're just begging to throw it to the end zone. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't hand it off to Graham Smith here just to try to pick up some yardage.
Yep, he's in the game in the backfield.
And they don't give it to him. Samsel keeps it, and again, the defense is not fooled. They stack him up, and they take the football away. Here come the Hawks up the field, and they're bringing it all the way down the near sideline. Joseph Zhang to the end zone. That is a defensive touchdown.
A strip and score for Zhang. He had him held up and just grabbed the football, and next thing you know, down the sidelines.
Well, again, the way it started off was they were not fooled by the quarterback keeper. They keyed on the quarterback. They stayed with him.
Sideline warning on Hartley, their 2nd. 5-yard penalty. Touchdown is good.
So the 5-yard penalty for the sideline violation. Hey, by the way, you can hardly blame them for the sideline violation on that play when you got the strip and score and the guy's running right in front of your own sideline.
Kind of reminded you about the Jack Sawyer down the sideline play against Texas when you saw the whole group of Hartley players almost following him down the line.
Absolutely. Try for the extra point here. And out for his 4th extra point try. Brady Newsom, the junior kicker.
Demir Frazier came into the game for Zhang, who I just think needs a breather on the extra point.
I bet he does. Left-footed kicker puts this ball up and once again through the uprights. And that will make it a 28-0 game in favor of Bishop Hartley. 8 minutes and 36 seconds is what's left here in the 3rd quarter of this game. And I want to bring in right now principal at Bishop Hartley, Andrew Jahan, is joining me right now. You know what? Don't mess this up, okay? Everything's going great. I want to talk to you. I love to talk to you, but just don't mess up the mojo here.
I will step off the mic if something happens or they score. Trust me, I'm very superstitious myself.
You won't have to. We'll cut it. Don't worry about that. Hey, it's good to see you. This was a big night here tonight. Even prior to the game, Hawks Fest was going on. It's homecoming. You got a couple of classes having their reunions this weekend. It's just a big, fun weekend here, and the weather's been gorgeous for it.
Yeah, we've had a great September, haven't we? I mean, all 3 games we've had here, been wonderful weather. A little hot tonight, but been great.
Nobody's complaining about that on the 12th of September.
No,
right?
we'll check that in a month here when it's October 24th and see what the weather's like. Maybe we'll have snow by then.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Look, every year at this time, you're starting a brand new school year. You've got a new group of seniors. You got a new group of freshmen coming in. How exciting is this time of the year for an administrator like you?
It's been really exciting, especially the start of our year. One of our goals this year was really to revive spirit, bringing it back a little bit more, and I've been really impressed with the kids and how they've embraced it. Yesterday, we had a house day, and it was just great celebration of our school. We had Founders Day Mass with the bishop and just a lot of different things going on, and we capped it off at the end of the day, a little faculty student volleyball at the end of the day, and just really enjoyed our kids in our school.
Did you play in that game?
I did not. I forgot to sign up, actually, to tell you the truth. But we had a pretty good team. We have a couple ringers.
Listen. If you're the principal, you can't forget to sign up for things, because when the kids come to you and say, "Hey, I forgot to do my homework. I forgot to sign up for this." Like, what do you say to that now? That's a bad example.
You are right, but last time I signed up for something with the students, I got drilled in the face with a dodgeball.
So you didn't forget to sign up. You didn't forget.
And there's a picture of it too as proof, Bob.
Of course there is.
Bob, it is great to have you back here.
Thank you.
You're a busy man.
It is.
We love having you here.
It's great to have the invite to come back here. I mean, there are things that are different here with this football program, with a brand new coaching staff here, but. What we've seen so far in this game is exactly what I've become accustomed to seeing over the years here at Hartley as Graham Smith gets the ball, and again, he's going to carry a tackler. He's got a first down. But, after the game that the Hawks played last week and we're just begging for points, this is a nice change of pace, isn't it?
It is. After week 1, too, where it was kind of an up-and-down track meet, too, it was just a battle of defense last week. It was almost like watching the Browns and the Bengals, and no one wanted to win it last week, too.
Tell me about the sports programs, because over the last couple of years, there have been changes that have gone on here. And when there are changes, being a part of the administration, you're part of those changes and selecting the people that are going to be the new leaders here. How happy are you guys with the selections that you've made and the way that things are going in all the different sports you have here?
Yeah, I think we're having a great fall. Volleyball is really solid. Our Chris Kowalski's running the girls' soccer program. We got Justin Alexander with the boys, and they're having solid seasons. Cross country, I think, has just grown so much over the last few years, too. I know they got a big their home cross country meet tomorrow. But, one of the cool things to do is to see girls' tennis grow, our golf programs grow, and just opportunities. What I like, too, is seeing the band out there grow and be able to do their thing.
Yeah, you and I talked about that at halftime, how that has grown over the years and it has continued to improve. And, you were talking earlier about spirit and reviving spirit. And a lot of the spirit in this school, it does start on this football field, quite frankly, and it bleeds into everything you do through the house system and through the entire student body.
Yeah, these are – sounds like putting on weddings every, Friday night when we do this in its event. But it's a great event having everyone here. And I love having reunions because I know a few of those 2000ers, and we got a bunch of 1985ers in our building.
Boy, this ball flipped ahead, and Watkins is going to get to the end zone for the first time tonight. Samsel was finally able to find a receiver. Dalen Long pulling that one in. And Watkins is on the board with 7:08 remaining in the third quarter. I'm not blaming you.
I'm ready to hand it back over to Brian here.
Now, is there anything else you want to talk about before you do go, though, in all seriousness?
No, I think we got a lot going on coming up in the fall. So I just encourage everyone to come out and see our sports teams. Just be there and then check out what we got going on as the school grows. And we're excited to have these opportunities to get together. We talk about being a community and a family, and when you get to see all these people and go around and have Hawk Fests, it's really what makes the school special.
I know one of the special things that you have coming up, and I don't know when it is. I think it's in the fall, so you can correct me if I'm wrong. It's been so long since I've been a part of it, but the open house where you have students that are able to come in and see what you're doing here. Students and parents. Very important that the parents get to come in and see what you're doing here and the culture that has been developed here amongst the students and the faculty.
Yeah, November 6th, Thursday, November 6th. We always do it on a Thursday night, too. And we always say if we can get you in the building, we think we can make you believe in what we do here and see everyone
I thought
around.
you were talking about me.
Well, you did that yourself. That's a story for
I was
another
getting ready
day,
to
right?
check my schedule.
Yeah.
I thought it was an invite. No, it's not that. No, but that is a great night, and I have been here for that before. And, again, having a son that went here and went to high school for 4 years here and participated in these programs, that's what keeps bringing me back here, brother, that and good people like you.
Yeah, we appreciate you. I talked last week about how you grew this thing pretty much and dragging us along and got us onto a video screen here too. So, we're always so thankful for you and all the time you give to
I appreciate
your busy schedule.
Very much, Andrew. Thank you very much. Andrew Jahan, principal here at Bishop Hartley. They've just given up a touchdown, but they've got the ball back, and running it is Robert Lathan. He's trying to dance out of a tackle, and his teammates trying to help him actually push him backwards. This will cost him some yardage. Actually, I think they're going to give him forward progress up to the 22-yard line. But either way, that's where they're going to start. And, Brian, good to have you back.
Good to be back.
You are still perfect here. You have given up 0 points in this game.
Yeah. As you know, in hockey, there's the plus or minus stat, so I'd like mine to be noted as still a shutout. But I will give a quick aside while we have a break here, Bob, is that Hartley is run by such wonderful folks like Andrew Jahan, Chris Kowalski, and all those people over there, and we're just in wonderful hands up here in the press box. And my son Jack is on the cross-country team. My daughter Julia graduated from here, and it's just been a fantastic experience for us.
Yeah, it is, and it's. I'll warn you of this: you can't get out. They keep bringing you back. But again, it's like I told Andrew. You come back because of the experiences that you and your kids have both had here. As Hartley runs the football up to the 30-yard line, taking it this time is Roderick Gates on the carry.
Yeah, I think they gave Lathan a spell. See if they can catch a little something here with some second stringers, but. Momentum's a little bit on the side of Watkins. If they get a stop here, look out.
Well, right now it's a 2nd down and 2, so the Hawks are in good position to at least convert and get themselves another first down. Spread it out with a 4-receiver set. Lone man in the backfield. Galich under center. He's going to run it himself, just taking it up the middle. He's got the first down. So we've seen just about everything tonight. I wonder what's in the offensive playbook that we haven't seen.
I know. That was our first QB sneak. Isn't it amazing? In modern football now, we see that all the time. And until the tush-push became in vogue recently, you just didn't see a lot of quarterback over center fall forward, boys. But that worked beautifully. I mean, that was probably 4 yards, Bob.
Yeah, that was a Josh Allen-like effort right there for Galich. Matt Galich, senior quarterback. 6'3", 215 pounds. He's been running this offense now for a couple of years. And he has it in full control. And, no matter what the system has been here at Hartley, as he hands it off and Lathan lost his footing. You don't see that often. He falls for a loss. But it's always been the quarterback has to manage the game. The quarterback has to be, I'm not saying he's got to be the smartest guy in the field, but he's got to be able to manage his teammates, manage the game, clean handoffs. When you're asked to throw it, you got to put it on target. And I think Matt's done a fantastic job of that last year and this year as well.
Yeah, you need a certain tempo and rhythm to the offense. You need to be able to communicate well with the sideline, know when to calm the fellas down, know when to be excitable. Those are not always things that you can teach somebody.
No, they're not. I mean, it's hard to learn how to be a leader. You have to have some attributes there, and then people can train you in that. Here's a handoff. They go with a jet sweep over to the far side, and again, Watkins has this picked up. There is a flag.
Callaway with a carry.
I think that was actually a pop pass. You don't see many of those.
It's going to be a face mask against the defense. This is going to be a big break here for the Hawks, and it comes right at the end, right there, at the end of the play.
You got to feel like if you're a supporter from Pat Taskula, that's just bad luck. Mm-hmm. They had that play diagnosed, strung out, and he just grabbed some face mask when it wasn't appropriate.
Face mask.
And again, that's what happens when you get a guy wrapped up and he doesn't go down. He's still fighting for yardage. You're trying to do whatever you can to get him down on the ground.
That's why you play
It's
with
an
a whistle.
It's an incidental face mask, though, so it's only 5 yards. So,
Oh, that's a good point.
So it is it's going to be a second down and 8. Yeah, it's not the 15 is bad. So they had bad luck, but not really bad luck on that.
Well put.
Here we go with a second down play, empty set once again in the backfield. Galich, he's got time, and he throws over the middle. Lathan reaching up, and he can't pull that one in. Did have a man right on him there.
Galich felt a little heat. He kind of threw off his back foot. It would have been a difficult catch, but we've seen Robert make that catch even in this game.
Yeah, as you said, when you could see when he released that ball, he kind of snapped it a little bit where that weight was still back on the back foot. He wasn't coming through that throw. But yeah, to your point, that guy's he's a high caliber athlete, and if you asked him, he'd probably say if it hits my hands, I should have brought it in. So it's an incomplete pass. Third down coming up. They'll leave Lathan in the backfield this time. Send out the receivers and make a throw. Far sideline, that is caught. That's going to be a first down, and they're going to get it across midfield. Starting to get just about everybody into the game. Isaac King making that catch.
Yeah, King's first reception of the ball game. He has 82 yards on the season and a touchdown, and pretty important snap to go to him on that third down.
Yeah, absolutely. And to tell you what, you look at him, 6'1", 170 pounds. That's a nice target. And he got out there to the sideline just beyond the sticks and got himself open. And, boy, if you got that guy and he's open, that's where you want to throw it.
Big body, good route, sure hands, first down Hawks.
Like another equipment type issue is Watkins has to substitute somebody in. Hawks come back to the line, and they are chewing into that clock. They're up 28-7, under 4 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Go with an offset eye. They're going to hand it to the tailback. That's Lathan dancing out to the left. Couldn't find the hole the first time. He'll create it the second time. He's going to wind up with 4 or 5 yards there. And again, he went from a -2 to at least a +4.
So often that is what a great tailback will do is take, I mean, that you look at the replay, Bob, that should be a 2-yard loss. He stretches it out, stiff arm, and next thing you know, we're 4 or 5 yards up the field. That makes the play call completely different on second down and 6.
You know, the runs like that always remind me of a guy that ran in high school here not too far away, Le'Veon Bell, and the way that he would stop and he would shift and he would wait for that opening, and I could never understand how he could do it. How can you be that patient? And how can you stay on your feet and be that patient? But Lathan is that type of runner. He can shift and he can move. He can keep the feet moving and then wait for his blockers to open that hole. As Hartley's going to call a timeout, that'll be their first of the second half and stop the clock with 3:39 remaining here in the third quarter.
The pride of Groveport, Ohio, Le'Veon Bell, and he would have that upright style where you'd almost think for a second he was loafing it a little bit after he'd received the ball, but he really was just using his vision to pick out where he wanted to go. And then when he decided on the gap, next thing you know, he's 3 yards down the field and off we go.
Yeah, you're right. Whether he's running it or catching it, sometimes it would look like, you're going to put the effort into this? And all of a sudden, yeah, the effort was he was 10 yards ahead of you down the field.
Yeah, you felt like it was the big kid in the backyard neighborhood game who was just waiting for the little kid to come up.
Robert Lathan, already this season becoming the all-time leading rusher here at Bishop Hartley, and that says something because there have been so many good backs that have carried the ball for so many yards at this school.
Yeah, he passed Noah Key, I believe it was, who was a key contributor on the state championship team. I believe Birchfield's first state championship team, if memory serves me correctly, and obviously he's of the lineage of the great David Key, who children of the 80s like myself remember as just a Central Ohio Titan who eventually started at the University of Michigan in the secondary.
So it is a second down and 6. Galich with a pitch. Lathan, they let him get his speed. He breaks a tackle. He breaks a second tackle. How about a third? He's got a blocker, and he'll step out of bounds at about the 27-yard line. So fun to watch when you watch him do this.
I mean, he's just changing gears, downshifting, upshifting in the middle of the run, and then he splits 2 defenders before he gets to the sideline. Just an incredible run.
Good job right there by Quarty as he gets almost tied up with Lathan, and then he says, oh, let me move this guy out of the way for you, and you can get some more.
Absolutely. That probably aided another 5 yards at the end.
That is a big run. And again, this is right after Watkins had finally gotten a touchdown. And now here they are watching the Hawks march down the field. They started this drive at the 22-yard line. And now they are down inside the 30 of the Warriors. They hand it off. Trying to bounce to the outside and being whipped down to the ground here as they get Roderick Gates in there to take a handoff.
You get the sense that this is the point in the game with a 3-score lead that everybody in the stadium, between every snap, just slowly looks at the clock and just watches it tick and tick and tick.
Yeah, especially the quarterback, because he's not breaking that huddle until he has to. He's getting to the line at the last second. He's going to take that snap with mere seconds remaining on it.
This is how good teams play with the lead at home in the second half.
They break the huddle with 13 left on the clock, the play clock, that is. Still have Gates in the backfield. Snap the ball with 3 seconds. There's pressure. Throw to the near side. That is caught. And heading to the end zone for the touchdown is Isaac King. Oh, we just talked about him a couple of minutes ago when he made a catch on the far sideline to keep the drive going and convert on a 3rd and long. And here he is again, and he finds open space. And I'll tell you, as a defense, that's not a guy you can let be in the open space.
Just a perfect play call. They got a couple first downs, and next thing you know, it's misdirection with the backup tailback to the wide side of the field. That wide receiver screen, the minute he caught it, you and I glanced down, looked at each other, and you just knew it was over.
Yeah, there was no doubt about that. So it's 34-7, extra point upcoming. Brady Newsome, little chip shot right there, and he puts it through. He's had a pretty good night. He's had 5 extra point attempts. He's put them all through, and hey, that's nothing to sneeze at. So it is 35-7. 2 minutes and 36 seconds remaining in the third quarter of this game. And Hartley in full control. They gave up a touchdown. They come back on the very next drive, and they get those points back. You're talking about this is how good teams play with a lead at home. This is also what good teams do. You give up a touchdown, you go get it right back.
Yeah, you put the hammer down. And incidentally, as Newsome was kicking that extra point, I thought, do we have 2 left-footed kickers in this game?
Yes, we do.
How often do we see that?
Not very often at all. So he's got to tee it up at the 40-yard line. I'm just thinking, well, first of all, in high school, you very seldom see one left-handed, or one left-footed kicker, rather. And then to have 2 in the same game.
Yeah, the odds of that happening are exceedingly low. You have to wonder, though, Bob, is this when Watkins just throws caution to the wind and just chucks the ball down the field the rest of the game, or are they still going to try and slowly but surely eke their way into it again?
I don't think that they can slowly and surely. I think slowly and surely has been all night, and it has to work for them as they run it back out to the 34-yard line. And that was Ricketts on the return. And they squib kicked it there, and he still gets a decent return. But if you want to have any hope, to me, with 2.5 left in this quarter, you got to start to sling it.
Yeah, you almost have to think from the Warrior point of view that we need another touchdown before the fourth quarter begins, and then we'll see what happens. But you're right. There's got to be urgency on that sideline right now.
Well, yeah, because you need to get it quickly. You want to get a score in the least amount of time that you can. You know that Hartley, if they can have another sustained drive, they're going to burn a lot of time off that clock. And even if you get another one here, you're still down by a bunch. They hand it off and go up the middle. And this is what they have done a lot at the end of the first half and through this third quarter as Graham Smith has carried the ball a lot. This has been their best play, quite frankly, right here, this handoff to Smith.
It has. It's worked to a degree. But, again, I would just think throw the ball at number 19 down for touchdowns.
Yeah, and if you want to play action because you've been giving it to the guy the whole time, that's fine. Like, it's something that you would think would work. 3 receivers to the bottom of the screen, and they hand it off to Smith. And guess what? The defense, they weren't buying that it was going anywhere else. They were ready.
No, and frankly, this is playing into Hartley's hands. Hartley is perfectly content to let them gain 4 yards every rushing play from now until we all get in our cars and go home.
Yeah, honestly, I don't understand. And here, especially, we'll see what happens on this play because it's 3rd down and 1. This is the kind of play where you can uncork one and you can go for it because if you don't get it, 4th down and 1, you should be able to. The way you're running the ball, if you go with a quick handoff, you can probably get that 1 yard.
Yeah, and 3rd and short when you're committed to 4th down leaves you all sorts of creative options.
They hand it off. And he's going to get, looks like, just to where he needs to be. Yes, he gains the 1st down. But again, with that run, they'll stop the clock and reset the chains and then start it again. There's just over a minute, quite frankly, that remains in the quarter.
Yeah, it just seems as though they're not going to deviate from their game plan. Now, maybe it turns to the 4th quarter, and that's when they flip the switch. We'll see.
It might be too late by then. They're going to throw it this time. Samsel. He is picked off. So they do throw it, and here come the Hawks back the other way. And that's Jamari Stokes.
Stokes with the interception. 1st and 10 Hawks.
Well, we talked him into it, didn't we?
Yeah, we sure did. That wasn't the game plan. I can guarantee you that. But look, Samsel, he's got time, but then he just lets it go, and Stokes steps right in front of that wide receiver.
He almost ran the route for him, didn't he?
He did. Absolutely did. Another turnover for Watkins. The last one, it was a strip and score. And this time it is an interception that's going to set the Hawks up inside the 40.
Hartley looks like they're going for more, 5 wide.
Galich. Oh, he gets hit from behind. He'll be wrapped up, and he goes down. First time they've gotten to him tonight. And it came from the blind side.
Well, I got to tell you, he's getting up a little bit slowly, favoring the right ankle.
Oh, and he's not getting up, even worse. This is not, in a game like this, you do not want to lose your starting quarterback. And an ankle can be, it can be a lot of things, if that's what it is.
Yeah, it sure can. I don't think it will cost them today with the score being what it is, but nevertheless, they'd really hit the stride. They're playing as well in this moment as they have all season.
Yes, indeed they are. And look to the sidelines. There's nobody throwing a ball yet. But Galich is down on the field and being attended to. Here's another situation now, because you have this, the lead that you have. Does he even play another snap in this game? Regardless.
Yeah, that would certainly be a questionable move. We've been given a number from our celebrity statistician, Andrew Jahan, that looks like Robert Lathan needs one more touchdown to tie the school career mark. So I think that kind of leads into your point here about if we do bring in a second quarterback, we're really going to lean on number one if you're a Hartley supporter.
I just don't like the body language out there on the field for Galich, who's now in a sitting position and being attended to by the trainers. And again, it's a play where he gets wrapped up. He gets hit from the blind side, but he gets wrapped up and he doesn't get taken down. And there was a third defender that got in there late with one final big pop. And I'm not saying that's where it happened. Is we're going to look at it again here. He's wrapped up and he's trying to fight forward. It looked like somebody fell on the back of his leg, and Galich coming off the field, and he is walking on his own, but he is favoring his right leg. So he will come to the sidelines, and as I said, I very much doubt you see him play another play in this game. I can't see any reason for that at this point in time.
Although seeing him walk gingerly, as the case may be, is certainly much preferred to the cart coming out or having to be helped off the field.
And looking at his facial expression, I like that body language a lot more than when we were looking at him sitting in the middle of the field. So, new quarterback for the Hawks as Odin Mertz takes over, and he tosses the ball to Robert Lathan. Lathan trying to get to the outside. They are going to catch him, and they're going to bring him down for a loss. And the ball came out, but was he already down?
Was he down?
I think they're going to say he was down. You see Lathan again here. He's just trying to make something happen.
Well, at this point for Hartley, I think you just want to get to the fourth quarter, regroup, readjust, see where you are, and looks like they'll be facing a punt here.
Yeah, that will be the last play of the third quarter.
We find the Hawks up 35-7.
But the Hawks are up 35-7. Again, the bigger story at this point is that Matt Golich, their quarterback, is on the sideline, and they are looking at that right ankle. They're going to tape it, and they just hope that he's going to be good to go, and he's going to be all right. In the meantime, they've got 12 minutes left on the clock here that they need to run off to get another home victory here this evening, and that's the ultimate plan right now.
Indeed, it's been a wonderful performance thus far, both offensively and defensively. And from the looks of it, they are correct. They're wrapping Golich's ankle, which leads me to believe they might reinsert him in the game. But again, we'll kind of see what the situation dictates. But midfield, Hartley will punt 4th and long, and they'll see if their special teams can pin the Warriors back and make it difficult.
Well, they certainly know that their defense can do the job because they've been doing it all night. So Lathan will kick it away. Oh, no. And it's third down play. It's not fourth down yet, so stand corrected. Here's a pass down the far sideline. This ball is incomplete, nearly picked off. The defender had a good chance at it right there, Dalen Long, but he could not come up with the ball. So they send Odin Mertz out there, and they let the junior unleash one.
Well, and to be honest, on 3rd and 27, that almost acts half as a punt if it's intercepted anyway. Yep. So
that is true.
Let the kid have a go. But, yeah, the yard markers and the scoreboard were not corresponding on down there.
No, they were not. So we've got Gates, or let's see, take that back. I'm wrong on that. Carter Armitage, and he is joined by Jaden Ricketts as the deep men. And it's going to be Armitage that will let the ball bounce, and then he will take it at the 14-yard line and be run out of bounds quickly at the 16-yard line.
Well placed on that punt, especially because Watkins had 4 or 5 guys in there with another half a step, could have blocked the punt.
Good coverage.
A little soft sideways bounce. That's like your pitching wedge onto the green from about 105, isn't it?
Yeah, that's into the woods. More likely. But you're right, that was a good bounce, and then you force the return man to have to play the ball there. You can't let it go again. It might have another true bounce and wind up inside the 10.
Looked like an Urban Meyer coffin corner punt for all those years.
That's right. So now we're going to see if Watkins is just going to open it up and throw the football. 11:47 left, fourth quarter. They're down by 4 touchdowns. To me, if they don't open it up and throw and they just keep doing what they're doing, they're just playing to get their system going for the future. They are going to throw on the run, near sideline, and this ball is incomplete. The intended receiver there was Cody York, and Drew Samsel couldn't get the ball to him. It skipped off the turf.
I noticed as the offense was coming out of the field, almost every player for Watkins Memorial was looking at that little wrist guard play sheet that they had to open up, so they might be pretty deep in the playbook at this point.
Very well could be. They've used a lot. They haven't had a lot of success with it. Got a 4-receiver set in there right now. Lone sent back. 2nd down and 10. Oh, bad snap, and Samsel just has to fall to the ground. Well, he did a good job just to get his hand out there and stop the ball from getting beyond him.
It was like a shortstop diving in the hole for that one.
Yeah, absolutely, because if it gets by him, a couple of things. He's not going to be able to get back up and chase it, and the defense is already coming his direction. There's a good chance that's another turnover.
Yeah, that could have been 6 the other way, frankly, if it bounced correctly. But be that as it may, it's gone from bad to worse for the Warriors.
Sure has. Now it's a third down and really long. Rolls out to his left, looking to throw, does, and that ball is caught, but it's going to be short of the first down marker. Pulling it in, the senior Dylan Kennedy.
Saul's pass to Kennedy complete.
Although from the Watkins perspective, Bob, that they're just going to hurry up. Less than 5 yards on fourth down. No choice but to go here, even deep in your own territory.
But again, they do have options from this point. You have Smith that's been picking up a good 3 to 5 yards per carry. So they're within that window. We got 3 receivers out to the right, which is the wide side of the field. They're going to hand it off to Smith. He stays on his feet, and he does have the first down. Leans ahead over the 35-yard line to the 36.
Smith with a carry.
He's a hard-charging tailback, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He absolutely is.
There's not much nonsense as he hits the hole. He just plows straight ahead, and that's what you need on 4th and 3.
Talked coming into this game about Jaden Ricketts, the Ohio State commit. He hasn't done a lot in this game. Smith has done the most. Has tried to go with a pass over to the far side. And again, nothing doing.
It didn't look like they were on the same page. We've got a Hartley cornerback down on the far side of the field. They suffered a lot of leg cramps last week. I'm wondering if that's the case right now.
Well, it is, it's still warm enough that is a possibility. Camden Caldwell, the junior, is being attended to right now over on that far sideline. 10:31 is what's left here. In the fourth quarter of this game, Hartley took control of it in the first half. They took control of it really right away tonight. Everything that they have done has worked well for them. They've allowed the 1 touchdown, but it came after they were up 28-0 and then got those points right back. Quarterback Matt Golich is now walking on the sidelines again, favoring his right ankle. And the question becomes not about him coming back into this game, but about next week.
Certainly, and Mertz is throwing on the sideline over there with, I believe that's Isaac King. Yeah, it is. So you would think he's going back in for another series. Meanwhile, on defense, Hartley's just going to try and slow him up at this point. I don't even think the stops are as important as bleeding time off that clock up 4 touchdowns.
Second down and 10. Good to see Camden Caldwell walking off the field under his own power. So, yeah, it looked like it just was a little bit of cramping. He'll sit this play out. Samsel taking the shotgun snap and throwing. Far sideline, he had a man wide open, and that's Kennedy who pulls it in on the sidelines and steps out of bounds.
And again, that really felt like a confident throw from Samsel, and his wide receiver just sort of sat in that little pocket near the sideline. Good tempo. We've seen a couple of those from them. If you just saw a couple of those in a row actually on a drive, you might have something. But Hartley has done well to stymie Watkins on every big play.
Hand it off to Smith. Up the middle he goes. And again into Hartley territory at the 48-yard line.
Smith with a carry. Tackle.
And see, Bob, that's the hidden yardage where he got loose at the line of scrimmage. And if you watch the replay here, this could have been a big play. But LaRon Golden just makes a nice open field tackle. You keep it to a 6-7 yard gain and move on.
Samsel looking near side. He's got a man, and that man has got a blocker, and they've got a first down because of all of that.
Yeah, that's a well-designed route to Cody York. Just kind of get him the ball quickly and see if he can make some yards after the catch, which to his credit he did. First down.
And that's a good job there by Austin Rowe, the other wide receiver, who immediately watched that catch be made and turned around and made a block to get him a couple of yards.
Yeah, Watkins is starting to go faster here too.
Under 10 minutes remaining. Samsel rolling left, looking downfield. Now he throws it underneath, but he throws it low and off the turf.
And frankly, from their point of view, that might not have been a good trade anyway. 3 yards for another 30 seconds off the clock at least.
And again, you talk about them going faster, but they're going faster nowhere still. I mean, that's we talked about earlier, are they going to open it up? Are they going to throw the ball? And then they finally did, and it was picked off, and that killed that drive. But, you're down by a bunch. You're down by 4 touchdowns right here. And, if you really want to have any chance, you got to throw it deep, and they do. And they got a man wide open, and he drops the football. And that was Rowe.
And he ran a wonderful route to get in behind the secondary, and he did everything correct except haul the ball in.
Just came off the end of the line. Just alligator armed that thing right there.
Ah, poor kid. It was almost too perfect.
Yeah. Yes, it was. He had the defense beat. That was 6 points, no doubt about it. Instead, it's incomplete. It's 3rd down and 10.
I think we've got another Hartley player shaken up here on the near side.
Oh, I think he's just tying his shoe. Thankfully.
Indeed.
So your teammates can berate you for not checking your shoes before you go out there and run the play. All right, everybody's ready. Samsel. He's got an outlet man to the left. He'll throw it to the middle, and he throws it behind Kennedy, the intended receiver. Another incomplete pass and a 4th down and 10.
Yeah, he had him, but Samsel was moving left. The quarterback on the move, and the wide receiver coming across the middle and just couldn't get that timing correct. Almost tried to sidearm it. Did you see that?
Yes, he did, and he threw it behind him. Now, Smith had come out of the backfield and was just kind of curling around there. But again, you look at the clock, you look at the score, and you see that big man coming free. You're not going to dump it off to the running back. Samsel, again, going left, again throwing. This is incomplete, and there is a flag. Now, interested to see what this flag is. It's going to be holding, and it's against the offense. Joseph Zhang was just hauled down to the turf. Well, again, Samsel, they roll him out toward the far sideline. It's not an easy throw when you're rolling that way, and then to try to hit that receiver. And that one, he just wasn't even close on.
Yeah, you wonder why they're not doing more direct routes, especially to Ricketts. But I don't know if they don't have as much faith in the offensive line with all these rollouts, because it's just been very difficult for them to link up on those plays.
Yeah, it has been. Everything's been difficult for them tonight. That's a turnover on downs. Penalty, of course, was declined. And so now Odin Mertz running this offense, hands it off to Lathan, who breaks a tackle and then is hauled down at about the 42-yard line. I am not a guy that says you got to be overly cautious, but I see him get drugged down on this play, and you've already lost your quarterback to an ankle injury, and then you watch this, the way he gets pulled down from behind. I'd almost be willing to take him off the field, and guess what? He's coming off the field.
Coach Melly had the same idea that you did.
I mean, you cannot lose that player. You just can't.
No, that's the franchise. But you also get a chance. I mean, this is Justin Jenkins, a freshman, gets into the game against the real team, Watkins Memorial, gets a carry, 1st down. It's a good outcome for everybody.
And that's one thing that this program has always been really good at doing, is getting those young guys in under the lights on a Friday night and getting them a taste of it. And, you'll see them as freshmen or sophomores. You see them get those late carries in games that are out of hand. And then you come back the next year, and the guy's a feature guy.
That gives a young player so much confidence, having carried the ball, like you said, underneath the lights on Friday night with everybody watching.
Yeah, way different than Saturday morning, right?
Indeed.
Here's another handoff, and this time the defense has the ball carrier wrapped up. But you're in a situation here where you want to keep the clock running. You're going to run the football.
Yeah, and you just want to see what your young tailbacks can do.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe they do something that gets your attention. On occasion, they may do something you didn't know they could do. And they do it in this atmosphere, And then and then that's something you can work on and get better in those JV games. And then you bring it back the next year, and they've grown tremendously. Look, nobody likes to just stand on the sidelines and watch the whole time as a young player. Yeah, there's things to learn, but when you get a chance to play, you can't wait to play. Toss on the right side, turning the corner, and trying to leap out of a couple of tackles that time. Good job by Justin Jenkins.
And see, this is what you're talking about. Jenkins is coming in, and you can just feel it. He's just got a little juice. He's got a little burst. He's running with a lot of confidence and zeal, and that might even pay dividends down the road this season if you need to spell Lathan or he gets shaken up for a play or two. You have the wherewithal to go to a kid like that runs hard.
He checks out. Kyron Gordon, who's a sophomore, checks in to take his place. So giving both of these guys a little bit of an opportunity to run the football. Looking at a 3rd down and 1. And Watkins looking at a situation where a couple more first downs, and that's it. Timeout called on the field. It's called by Hartley. Again, you start to put some different people into the game, and sometimes you lose the message or the play, and you just got to call timeout and regroup and have everybody reset.
But be that as it may, you've got a backup quarterback, backup tailbacks, including a freshman, and you've made 2 first downs on the drive. You're trying to salt the game away. We're now down under the 7-minute mark. From a coaching staff perspective at Hartley, you have to be really pleased with how the backups are doing right now.
Yes, you absolutely do. There's no doubt about it. So Hartley looking to go to 3-1 on the season. If they can finish this off, Watkins would drop to 1-3.
Because we know it's only going to get rougher as you get into CCL play. Watterson obviously is a behemoth, defending state champion. Big rival DeSales looks strong as always. And then St. Charles has actually had better results earlier in the season than we've seen from them in recent form.
Comes a 3rd down and 1 play. Quarterback keeper up the middle, and that's going to be an easy first down. And you talk about St. Charles, that will be the next home game here on September the 26th. Next week, the Hawks are going to travel to Baden. So, big CCL game when they return home.
Mm-hmm.
Always huge here.
Yeah, and you'll be on the upswing traveling down to Hamilton with 2 games, 1 under your belt, 3-1 record, and we'll see what happens in league play.
Watkins next week will take on Johnstown Monroe. First down and 10 for the Hawks. Pitch to the backfield. And big hit as trying to turn the corner there was the running back, Gordon.
Yeah, that was a deep pitch, and he really hit the gas, and, yeah, they're still hitting out there in the 4th quarter.
Give him a yard second down, and 9. A lot of the players coming over and talking to Matt Gullick. The Gullick, the quarterback, is out of the game. Got rolled up on in his last play. And another handoff for the Hawks. And again, another good run. Justin Jenkins trying to make a name for himself before this game's over, huh?
He's making a little impression, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
That's a name to remember.
He is. And just finding the hole, and that's a quick hitter. He basically shot through the gap before they could close it.
Yeah, and he conceivably will be one of the guys next year when Lathan departs for Division I football, we would imagine. He could be one of the featured backs.
No, he's only a freshman. I mean, if you can get a feature back position as a sophomore, you could threaten some records, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, he's already chipping away.
Here's a handoff to Gordon, and he gets spun down after a short gain.
Well, number 1, better be careful.
Well, not be careful. Just get as much as you can this year, right? Got to pad the stats.
Yeah, pile it on when you can.
That's right. Got to make sure nobody can catch you after you're gone. That's always the plan. it'll be a 2nd down and 9 once again. And again, they're just they're just rotating. Kyron Gordon in here and Justin Jenkins. Pretty much alternating plays.
This drive has just been a thing of beauty if you consider the fact there are backups in. The drive started with over 8 minutes left in the game, and you're just salting things away slowly but surely.
Pitch once again, and there's a flag here is bouncing to the outside, and again, proving to be a tough guy to take down is Justin Jenkins.
He had a little spin move there on the far side. It's coming back, but kid runs hard.
Holding on the offense. They'll back it up 10 yards.
I've noticed real quick, Bob, with Jenkins and Gordon, they're running a lot of pitch plays. And I've noticed on the replays, those fellows are really looking the ball into their hands because this is no time to get sloppy and put the ball on the ground.
That's right.
Especially if you're a younger player trying to get some playing time.
All eyes are on you. Don't drop the football. You're right.
Which is a good indication of the fundamentals that are stressed from the Hartley coaching staff.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
Every play means something.
It does. And when you look to the future, I mean, you going to put in the sure-handed guy? If you're a guy that can run, but you might not be able to hold on to the football so well, are you going in ahead of the sure-handed guy? Not always.
Yeah,
not most of the time, actually.
They got to trust you.
That's
We've
right.
heard that time and time again from football coaches at all levels.
Another pitch. Little shimmy shake there. And unfortunately, the play not going anywhere, but Gordon trying to put some moves on.
Look like you at the discotheque.
Yeah. Different outfit. Look, watch him right here. He's a little stutter step and shoulder shake, and the defense said, you know what, kid? Sorry. It's too late in the game for that.
Welcome to the show. It's Friday night.
That's right. So timeout on the field. Watkins takes it with 3:20 remaining here in the fourth quarter.
I've really been impressed the attitude from the first kickoff from Hartley. I was a little bit unsure coming here how they're going to react to such a strange scoreless regulation game. I had to feel like some of the Hawks were let down. I thought they felt like they would have performed better last week, but man, they have been crisp and sure of themselves absolutely from the opening kickoff.
Yeah, almost like it didn't happen, right? And that is really, and coaches preach this all the time, right? You can't look behind you. You know, got to win. That's great. Got to move on to the next one. Same thing. Doesn't matter how you got that win. Now, we didn't get it in a way that we wanted to. We didn't play great. So what? Play great this week, and that's what they've done right from the beginning.
It's been winning football all day today.
It absolutely has. Absolutely has. And 3:20 is what's left in this thing. 35-7 Hawks. Gordon takes another handoff and just leans forward and get another timeout.
Gordon almost has that Ashton Genty. Look at that, standing straight up at the snap. I wonder if that's going to catch on more with teams.
Could be. I don't understand this timeout stuff. I just don't. Like, you don't try to play fast. You don't try to throw the ball down the field. You run your same offense. Now you get down to 3 minutes and 10 seconds. Let's take every timeout. Let's slow this thing down and kill it. Listen, it's been a bad night for you. All we want to work on it in practice. It didn't work all night long. It's not going to work now. Let's get out of here. If I'm on the road, believe me, I can't wait to get on the bus and start making the game plan for next week.
And it feels like that just not being able to read the room kind of vibe. Like in a football game, you kind of got to know when to go fast and when to go slow.
And when to go home. And when
I think we just invented a country music song.
I think you're right. Could catch on. It's a 4th down and long. And here comes the throw toward the near sideline, and this is going to fall incomplete. That throw way out of bounds. Now, the fans want a pass interference call. I got to tell you, that's a great job by Jonathan Cordy to try to get that call, but that throw was so far out of bounds, it was uncatchable.
And another one of those points as related to our song title is that maybe the referees want to go home as well, because I don't think the flag was coming out unless he got tackled on that play.
Not a chance. Not a chance. again, I understand it's high school sports and you want to, play with sportsmanship and work on stuff. Look, your time to work on things was in the third quarter when you were still in the game, when you're trying to get back into the game. You haven't been in the game really most of the night, certainly not at all through this fourth quarter. So what are you taking your timeouts for? What is there to do? Not a thing. They're going to run some more offense here, unless they want to. Well, I'll see who they bring out before I say it. You want to get some other guys in here? You want to get your guys in under the lights to get that opportunity? Okay, and that's exactly what's going on here. So maybe I should back it off a little bit. Probably won't, but maybe I should. So here's a non-handoff. The new quarterback, Xander Matchak, and he is a freshman. It looked like he was literally begging the running back to take the football, and he said, no, that's all right, you hold it.
Bless his heart, but that did look like a kid on one of his first snaps on varsity. But, hopefully he'll be all the better for it in the future.
Right. And again, playing under the lights, I get it. You want to have that happen? Okay.
Well, we've snuck under 3 minutes here, so could be the last series of the game.
They hand it off, and a good tackle made at the 35-yard line.
Hartley sprinkling in backups on defense as well. So,
yeah, but Roderick Gates is still in there. He made that tackle. Watch him. Steps up. Bam.
He got square, closed that gate.
So you know
exactly
what? If
you
get a first down, they're going to stop that clock. I'm going to stop you. Under 2 minutes remaining.
Well, let's see if they let the kid throw the ball.
Matchak from the shotgun. Rolls left, throws left. That is caught. It's going to be a very short gain, but he does complete the pass. And boy, they love that roll out to the left of the quarterback, don't
I
they?
was thinking the same exact thing, but give credit to him. He executed the play.
Yes, he did.
Goes in the stat sheet.
I'm just saying, it's a difficult throw. It's not easy. Hey, we're going to bring you in, put you under the lights, and have you make that throw. But to your point, he did. Good job.
Yeah, and that's their offense, but a 1 yard gain on third down, and not sure what they're doing here, Bob. Are they going to bleed it down and call timeout and then punt?
I'd love to tell you, Brian. I'd love to tell you. Apparently,
Timeout Warriors.
they take that timeout with 1 minute and 2 seconds left.
Some curious clock management at the end here.
So they'll send the punter out there, and that is Ace Weigel. Who the Hawks going to send deep? They put that youth out on the field. Big story here in the second half is the Hartley quarterback, Matt Golich, suffering an injury, had to leave the game. He's been on the sidelines ever since. The punt goes back to nobody, as Hartley will just let it roll and let more time roll or run off the clock, and that ball rolls down to about the 27-yard line.
Smart move by the Hawks. Nothing good is going to happen from a kid catching a punt in the last minute of the game when you're up 4 touchdowns.
Indeed, you're correct. So you got 50 seconds, 2 plays, and your record improves to 3-1.
Yeah, and if you're Hartley, you have to feel very confident about the way your offense performs. Again, we've alluded many times to the 0 points in 4 quarters last week, and this week was just a completely different story. Running, passing, screen passes, square ins. They try to pop pass, jet screen, all sorts of different little nuances that it's going to give some defensive coordinators in the CCL a lot to think about.
Sophomore quarterback John Einstein comes into the game now to take over here. And you're right about the offense, but let's not forget about the defense and what they did tonight. The strip and score from about 90 yards. You had the interception. You had 2 fourth down stops and turnover on downs. I mean, the defense ran right along with the offense tonight in great place.
So if you take the last 2 weeks, the Hartley defense and opposing offenses tied 7-7.
There you go. The kneel on the football, and that's it. The Hawks have capped it off here tonight. They've controlled this thing ever since the beginning, and they win it. 35-7 is the final. And we talked about the offense. We talked about the defense, and you know what? The special teams will be mad because they got that fumble on the kickoff after they scored the first touchdown and turned it into another touchdown, 14-point swing right there. So in all facets of the game, the Hartley Hawks played great tonight here at home, and their record is now 3-1 as they get set to hit the road and play at Baden next week. I don't know what else you can say about it, Brian. I mean, they played so well. We talked about it all night. They get what I really did like, though, and this goes on both offense and defense. There were a lot of different guys involved here tonight. A lot of different guys got to touch the football. A lot of different guys got to make big tackles, and I think that goes a long way, especially when it's still early in the season.
It was a dominant display all around, and they just looked crisp and serious, and there wasn't really any lackluster plays or any lull in the middle of the game that sometimes you see if a team accrues a 2 or 3 touchdown lead. Just felt like Hartley was all about business tonight, and that is reflected in the final score.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think halftime came at a good time for them. I thought they were all business, and even if they were starting to get worn down at all, halftime came. They came back out. They were strong in the second half, and they put it away. And that's the bottom line. Put it away, and they do here tonight. So a really dominant performance all the way around for the Hartley Hawks. And as we said, they're on the road next week. They'll be back here in 2 weeks to take on St. Charles, which is always a great one.
Yep. Rivalry since the beginning of time.
Yes, absolutely. Brian, you did a great job tonight. I really enjoyed working with you.
Thank you. It's been my absolute pleasure. Thanks for having me, Bob.
All right, that is Brian Inglis. I'm Bob McElligott for our production crew here at Bishop Hartley. I want to thank them, and I want to thank you for being there to watch this one tonight. The Hawks, a 35-7 winner over Watkins Memorial. That'll do it for tonight's broadcast. Thanks for watching Bishop Hartley Football.